A&M and Cerro Gordo. Raiders ranked 4th in Class 2A. Pass to Ryan Schumacher. This play went for 66 yards when it was all said and done. 7-0 Clinton. It was only their second play of the game. Then Randy Rich. This is going to be a neat little run right at you. A 36-yarder. I see carries. He slips about 3 tackles, I counted looking at the tape. 13-0 Clinton with 5:50 to go in the first quarter. They roll 33-7 over Argetna Oriana. Now, down Highway 51, we go to Maroa Forsyth as the
Larry Dooling, along with Joe Spencer as usual, before Game 3 of this 1995 football season. The Clinton Maroons open their conference portion of the schedule, coming into this ball game with a 1-1 record as they take on the Bombers of Argetna Oriana High School. It's an overcast night. The lights starting to fade as the lights will be coming in here very soon, and we'll be playing this one, of course, under the lights here very shortly. But it's a pretty pleasant evening. People in the stands have the jackets on. I think a few brought some extra blankets along. You know, the sweatshirts are out. The sweaters are back out of the closet now. It wasn't that long ago. We were playing under sunshine and pretty warm temperatures. But tonight, Joe, it's going to be real football weather for this football game.
Yeah, it wasn't real long at all. It was last Saturday, but yeah, I think the players like this a little bit more, though, Larry. I think that they won't have the problem with the cramps and problems they might have had the first 2 weeks of the season. I think that this is probably better weather for them.
Absolutely. It's more like football weather when you're wearing that heavy equipment out there. This is the type of weather you really like to play the game under, or maybe even a little bit chillier than this. But I think the temperature for the most part is probably going to be at least in the 60s when we play this ball game. There is, you know, as we said, overcast skies, and there's been some light precipitation falling from time to time throughout the day today, and I'm sure there's a possibility, a chance of maybe some more precipitation falling throughout the course of this ball game, maybe from time to time, although I don't expect it to be anything too heavy. Hopefully we'll get this one in good shape. The cameraman certainly is hoping that we don't have much precipitation fall during the course of tonight's ball game. The Clinton High School band is on the football field and making their way across here, and I imagine very shortly we'll have the playing of the national anthem. Joe, both teams come into this ball game with 1-1 records. Argetna's on the upswing. They were 0-9 last year, but they won their first game in a while last week. A come-from-behind win against Shelbyville, and they're feeling pretty good about themselves.
Yeah, pretty impressive. They came back from 22 down to win the ball game. And you mentioned at the tailgate party they seem to be a second-half team. They like to stay in there and keep their wits about them, much like the Maroons. They don't give up easy. And it looks like a battle between two pretty good teams.
I think so. The point that we were told, and the reason why we understand they're a second-half team, is in their first game against U-High, they were down by a couple of touchdowns at halftime, but they played an even-Steven ball game with U-High during the second half of that ball game and losing by a score of, I believe, 28-6. And then last week, it's you know, documented very easily for us to read the fact that they were down 22-0 at halftime in the game in Shelbyville, but they came back to outscore the Rams 23-0 in the second half to pull that one out and win it 23-22. As you can probably hear in the background, Kevin Wall, the public address announcer here at Clinton High School, is asking the crowd to rise to their feet. And this crowd that's really starting to pour in here, it's not a capacity crowd yet, but it's going to be a big crowd for tonight's ball game, are going to rise now and face the flag at the north end of the football field behind the scoreboard. And the Clinton High School band now at the playing of our national anthem. Clinton High School band with their rendition of our national anthem before tonight's third game of the season for the Clinton Maroons, and for that matter for Argetna Oriana. Clinton and Argetna playing the conference opener for these two teams here at Clinton High School. Joe Spencer is alongside. This is Larry Dooling, and we will have our sideline reporter, Mike Craig, as usual. If Mike, I see he's down there making some contacts with some of the parents and people in the know and getting some inside information, but we'd like Mike to report to his sideline position because we're only about 5 minutes away from the start of this football game, and to get a few comments from him before things are too close to the opening kickoff in this ball game. Maroons coming off an exciting victory last week to even up their record at 1-1, Joe. They put a number on Moments. They really stuck it to a team that had some awfully big ball players, but we outquicked them and put some points on the board. And Clinton was up 43-8 with 6 minutes to go before halftime, and then just coasted in the rest of the way. Very impressive victory by Clinton.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a concern before the game because people had noted how big Moments looked along the lines. It really didn't materialize for the Redskins because Clinton pushed their guys back most of the game on the line, and had a huge offensive effort from Josh Wilson at the start of the game as he had 68 of the 78 yards on that first drive that got him a score, and that would tell how the rest of the game would go as the line dominated Moments.
So both teams on a high coming into this ball game. Argenna with their come-from-behind victory on the road at Shelbyville, at least I believe that was at Shelbyville, and then the Maroons with their win here at home on Saturday afternoon against Moments by an impressive margin of 43-16. We'll take a break here on our pregame show and be back with more, and very soon the opening kickoff in this ball game between these two teams, so stay with us. First and 10 for the Maroons is still time. 25 seconds. Quick pass. Here's a good ladder. They line down to the 10. Crowley's out of bounds inside the 10. Rolling out left. Looking downfield. Airing it out for Igins on the fly. 40-yard line catch. Shepard short drop. Pop over the middle. Deflected. Intercepted by Josh Wilson. What a great interception. He's down to the 20. It will go 10 yards. It bounces up high. The Maroons have a chance with the recovery. It's still loose on the ground. Igins has recovered the football. Taking a lot of time. Could be the last play of the ball game. He shoots it deep for the end zone for Schumacher. Battle for the ball. He caught it. Touchdown!
Clinton Maroon football is brought to you by Clinton Chiropractic Center, Clinton IGA Foodliner.
Tailgate party tonight. Had a nice group of people show up and enjoy the hot dogs from Maverick Family Steakhouse, the free drinks from Pepsi, the All Sports, and just had a good time doing the tailgate party before tonight's ball game. Look forward to another one next week against Decatur St. Teresa. The Maroons are getting loosened up here on the near sideline on the far side of the football field. Looks like a number of the Argenna-Oriana Bombers who might be representing the team either as captains or just going to be on this kickoff are ready to go. They're antsy to get out on the football field, but we're waiting for the band to wrap up the school song, which they just did, and clear the way so we can get this football game underway, Joe. And let's see if our man on the sideline is ready to go here. Mike Craig has got the old sideline roving microphone in hand or on his lapel or whatever the case is tonight. Mike, are you wearing shorts and a T-shirt tonight like you were Saturday afternoon?
No, not quite, Larry. It's a little cooler down here. We got a little breeze, too.
Where are you, anyway? I can't see where you're at. Where are you located?
I'm down on the south end.
You're really in the thick of things when you're 50 yards away from the football team.
Well, Larry, I don't play an instrument, so I didn't need to be in the band.
No, but we would like you to be close to the action in the football field.
We're getting there, Larry.
All right, we'll talk to Mike during the course of this ball game. See if he can come up with any inside tidbits for us from time to time. And, Mike, we want to get you on camera sometime. You're dressed in that spiffy-looking jacket. And what is that hat on? What's that hat on your head? What are you wearing there?
That's a freebie from work, Larry.
What, some chicken hat or something?
Yes, actually. It's lunch meats.
A lunch meat hat. We've seen all kinds of hats at football games. I think he's the first one to wear a lunch meat hat. Maroons will be kicking off, Joe, and looks like Tony Simonton's going to get the job. He did real well with that last week.
Yeah, that's one thing we had mentioned at the tailgate. He looked pretty impressive last week against Moments, and he might have just won the kickoff duties.
Dropping back to the 10-yard line is Andy Moore for Argenna, and up ahead of him a little ways at the 16-yard line is quarterback Micah Shepard awaiting the kickoff. The end over end, that'll bounce. Shepard will field at the 23, 25, looking to the far sideline, right side of the field, finds an opening, cuts it upfield. He's at the 40. He's got one man to beat at Simonton. He cuts inside of him, but then Schumacher comes from behind and puts him down at the 35-yard line. It's a good return for Argenna-Oriana. They'll have great field position in Maroon territory at about the 34, maybe the 33-yard line of Clinton. First and 10 after a good return by Micah Shepard.
And Shepard showing his athleticism there. That's one thing everybody mentioned, that he liked to pass the ball last year, but he also showed the few times they did run that he can run with the ball. He's pretty quick.
Maroons can't be back on their heels. They came out fired up against Moments last week, but they can't rest on their laurels after winning that one. This Argenna football team will give us an awful fight here tonight, and a much stronger one than the Moments we would expect here this evening. First and 10 at the 33 of Clinton for Argenna. Micah Shepard with the football. Drops it on the ground. It's loose. Who got on top of that football? There's a fight for it. Clinton coach Brian Knudsen is waving his Clinton football, and the Maroons do have the recovery. And off the bottom of the pile for Clinton, I believe.
I think it was Jimmy Savage.
Right in the middle of that group. One of the Maroons, and we think it was Savage, came up with that football. We could probably see it better when we watch the football replay on Clinton Cable TV Channel 10 later on in the week, but Clinton has recovered it. That was just a snap from center to the quarterback that hit his hands and went on the ground, and Clinton got it.
Yeah, that's one of those, you don't really expect it in the third week, but the Maroons will take it.
Nate Sams under center. We'll hand it off. Wilson will get the call, and we'll get a yard or so. The line of scrimmage was right about the 35-yard line. He might have got it to the 36-yard line in Clinton territory, so the Maroons, after giving up a long kickoff return, get the ball back on the turnover, and of course it's very possible that Jimmy recovered that football because he starts at that nose guard position on defense and would have been right across from the center and have a chance to scoot through there and get on top of that football in that situation. On second down and a long 9 for the Maroons. High formation backfield. They'll fake the handoff. Sams wants to throw in the middle. He's got Schumacher wide open. Can he run under it? Yes, he does at the 40. 35. Stumbles a bit. Keeps his feet. 30. 20. Man chasing him down from behind, but he is in for the touchdown, it appears. Will the official give it to him? I haven't seen a sign from the official yet, and it is finally ruled a touchdown.
Nice play as Schumacher's defender fell down. He was wide open. Nate found him on a good read. And as you mentioned, just Schumacher ran underneath the ball. And it looked like he stumbled a little bit, but he kept his feet and got the touchdown.
That will be about a 64-yard touchdown pass, and Mike Craig has something for us from the sideline. Mike?
Well, Larry, it was the fake by Nate that really sold that play.
Absolutely. He did a nice job faking the handoff to the tailback out of the backfield, and that might have sucked in the secondary guys enough to spring Schumacher loose in behind the secondary, Joe, and he just, I didn't see anybody fall down like you did, but I saw he was wide open, and it was just a matter of will he be able to run under the ball, and Nate did a nice job laying it out there to him, and he caught it at about the 40 of Argetna and stumbled a bit, but was able to outrace the defenders the rest of the way to just barely get into the end zone.
Yep, and that's what a good play action fake will do. It'll freeze the secondary guys.
Kick for the extra point is trying to go left, but it got through, just stayed inside that left upright. So timeout on the field early in this ball game. There's 10:38 to go in the first quarter of play, and Clinton takes a quick 7-0 lead over Argetna Oriana. One break, the fumble by Argetna on their opening play for the line of scrimmage, and then a big play, the pass from Sams to Schumacher, and they're off to the races. Just less than a minute and a half into the ball game, they're up by a score of 7-0 after the kick tacked on by Josh and Josh Wilson, and the Maroons up 7-0. Here's the kickoff by Simonton, taken by one of the up men about the 24-yard line, now to the 30-yard line, 35, and then tripped up and going down about the 40-yard line is Todd Carlson. He's one of their top receivers, a 5'9", 155-pound senior. And the defense, who really didn't get tested on their first series due to the ball being dropped on the ground in the first play, will now get their test, I would think, from Argetna. We'll see how they'll do.
Yeah, but on the first play, forcing a turnover, well, I guess they didn't force the turnover, but they recovered it. Anytime you can get the turnover, you can take it, and the Maroons did what they had to do. You have to capitalize it when you get a gift like that early in the game. So hopefully the defense can shut them down here, and Maroons offense can score again.
Clinton striking quick on only their second play for the line of scrimmage. They scored on a 65-yard touchdown pass. Here's Micah Shepard, optioning to the right-hand side. Gave it to the fullback, tries the middle. He's hit by a couple and knocked down. It was Bob Igens who hit him low, and Nate Sams who hit him high at about the 44-yard line, and a gain of about 4 yards on the play. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Bombers.
Yeah, they ran a trap up the middle, and the secondary man came up, and as Larry mentioned, Igens low and Nate high, and they just made sure he didn't get past the 4 yards he got.
It's Andy Moore who's lining up at the tailback spot. He's 5'9", 185 pounds, and a junior. And I think it's Albano, who's the fullback, but we'll have to double check in a second. Micah Shepard on the option right. Hands it off to the fullback again and immediately tackled on the play. And no gain on the play. And who was there? Was it that?
Kevin McCleary.
Yeah, it was McCleary who was in on the tackle. No gain on the play. 3rd and a long 6 coming up now for Argetna.
And did you notice kind of a little bit of a tighter formation there on defense for Clinton, Larry? It looked like they kind of bunched in along the line.
Not really. I was watching, the football, watching the offense. That's a good point. Looks like they are as they line up here for this 3rd down play. We'll have to watch the ball in the air, though, because we know Micah Shepard can throw it. On 3rd down and 6, he will drop back. He's rolling out left. pops it over here on the left-hand side and overshot his man. A good coverage. Josh Wilson was all over the back of Corey Albano, and no chance for completion there. And I think Micah Shepard might have taken a little hit right after he let go of that football. We had one guy with some pressure right in his face.
Yeah, he had serious pressure on that side. I think it was either Clyde Leggett or number 60, Adam Moore. And also good coverage by Wilson there, and he couldn't really find his wide receiver.
Punting situation, and it appears Micah Shepard handles the punting chores. Shepard, who started as their quarterback last year as a sophomore, obviously a junior this year, but gaining valuable experience last year during his sophomore season, with a good long kick. Schumacher, the lone man back, will take it at the 19-yard line. Brings it right up the middle. Takes a little bit of a hit, then is caught around the ankles and dropped at about the 28-yard line. They might give him forward progress to the 29. Clinton will have it for their second series. The Maroons leading 7-0. And Mike Craig down there on the sideline, you know, when I first saw the Maroons come out, I thought maybe they were lacking a little intensity, but I think I'm wrong. They got plenty of intensity down there as the game has started now.
No, boy, they sure do have a lot of intensity, Larry. Boy, the bench players, boy, they are really up down there. I can't even hear myself down there.
I know, I can hardly hear you sometimes, too. Between the officials' whistle and some of the other things, certainly the noise they're making. Sam's on an option left, still keeping the football. Breaks a tackle, still on his feet, 35-yard line, and is very close to a first down as he falls forward to about the 39-yard line. That's Nate Sams on his own. He was met at the line of scrimmage initially, Joe, and still got about 10 yards out of the play.
Yeah, Nate breaking tackles, and that's one of the plays that worked well for the Maroons last week, the option. They went to the left side that time. I think most of the week they went to the right side last time. But it looked for a good run anyway, although Nate did it by himself.
Igems joins Rich and Wilson in the backfield. And they will give it to Wilson up the middle, and he might have enough for the first down, as that first down play was about a half-yard short. We had second down and about a half-yard to go, and it looks like Wilson has it to the 40-yard line, which is enough for a first down. Clinton at their own 40-yard line here on their second possession of the ball game, with a first down and 10 at their own 40. Thad Harned brings the play in from the sideline as he rotates in at that line position. And the Maroons on a first down and 10 at their own 40. Had success with the ground game last week. Josh Wilson, a real workhorse, especially early in that ball game. See if they'll keep it there. A little pop pass over the middle, though. Graves makes the catch, had to reach back behind him, but made a nice catch. And then gets forward progress to the 47-yard line of Argetna before he's brought down. That was a nice catch by West because Nate threw it a little bit behind him, and he reached back, and that very easily could have glanced off his hands and gone off his hands behind him, but he cradled it in and got the first down catch to the 47 of Argetna.
And it was a nice route by West. He blocked initially on the line, then released from the line and ran a little seam pattern, and Nate was behind him a little bit, but as you mentioned, made a good catch.
It was a catchable pass, though, and West made sure he did make the catch. Whistles before this play gets off cleanly. And finally, the flag comes out of the pocket a little belatedly, but the whistles had stopped play, and we have a penalty. I imagine maybe the Maroons made a mistake out there and will be called for a procedure. We'll wait and see what the officials say. No, it's offsides Argetna. Encroachment penalty against Argetna will walk off 5 more yards that direction. And it'll be at the 43-yard line with a first down and 5 now for the Maroons as they move into Argetna territory. Clinton is leading 7-0. They scored early. We're at 7:36 to go in the first quarter of play.
And that's one thing that the Maroons coaches really have to be happy about this season. A disciplined Maroon team, not a lot of penalties this year.
They played that way last year, and they did a pretty good job taking care of the football. We didn't start off that way in the first game this year, but much better last week. Sam's on the option right, and a good tackle, good strong tackle by Todd Carlson, who forced Sam's to cut it up the field and then made sure he made the tackle. Sam's did get it to the 40-yard line, a gain of about 2 more yards, so it'll be second down and 3 now for Clinton at the 40-yard line of Argetna.
Yeah, they went option right that time, and Carlson made a big hit because if he didn't stop Nate there, Nate had a lot of open territory to go. 3 wide outs to the left-hand side. Schumacher, Igems, and Rich are out there. Wilson alone back. He will block. Sands pops it over the middle, through the hands of Rich, and off a defender's hands, and incomplete. A couple of Argetna players had a chance at that. One was Micah Shepard playing back there at a safety spot. That pass had a lot of zip on it, and Randy just couldn't see it cleanly enough, I guess, to grab it. That's a pass play that we saw go for big yardage last year, especially in that Sullivan ball game in the waning moments when they used Ryan Conley out of the backfield in a play like that. Yeah, they used the circle pattern where Randy came out of the backfield. It just couldn't hang on.
Split backfield. They need 3 yards for a first down, and Wilson will get the call, and he's very close to the first down. Straight forward, left-hand side of the line. Had a nice opening there. And depending upon where they spot it, we'll see if they have the first down. I think they got enough for the first down, Joe.
It looks like they went with the trap play up the middle, and he might be a little short.
Here comes a wide load. We have a wide load on bypass 51 there. I'm not sure what the heck that thing is. Phil's like, well, should I take a picture of that? Should I get the camera on that? It's too dark. Don't worry about it, Phil. They going to measure, Joe?
No, they're going to say they're half a...
No,
they are.
Not going to measure? Oh, they are going to measure. All right. They'll bring the sticks in from the far sideline. Mike Craig doesn't have a good angle on it. Mike, you can't tell if it's a first down, can you? You need to get right over there in front of Knutson and see if it's a first down.
Well, I'd have to probably knock him down to get in there, and I don't know if I want to do that.
I don't think you want to do that. Offensive line looking like they're doing a pretty good job again tonight so far.
Boy, they're coming off the ball, and on the last pass play, even though Rich did drop it, boy, he sure had a lot of time, and they chop blocked and dropped guys down in front of Nate, and he had time to look across the middle there. And if they do that, he can, them little 5- and 6-yard crossing patterns will work pretty good.
Yeah. We do have a little wind out there. You can hear the wind blowing in Mike's microphone just a little bit. That's what that sound you're hearing. He's not just breathing hard, trying to run it down the sideline. It was short, so it's 4th down in inches for the Maroons at the 38-yard line of Argetna. And it looked like they tried to draw him off sides there and weren't able to do so, so they used a timeout.
Yeah, that's one of the favorite plays. They like to have Nate bark the count out hard, and they've got moments on that play and Bloomington Central Catholic.
Central Catholic. It was a big play at the time because our offense was struggling, and we got a first down, and we got a little drive going against Central Catholic in that particular ball game, and we saw it happen last year several times. So, but Argetna was smart. They didn't jump across there. They played it well. Now will the Maroons, will they punt the football? I wouldn't think so. They're at the 38 of Argetna, but maybe they'll kick the football. But obviously, in a 4th down this short of situation and this deep in Argetna territory, I would think we're going to go for it here and try to keep this drive alive.
Yeah, I would think so. The line is looking like it's doing a pretty good job, and I think they could go with the keeper with Nate and just kind of run by in the center to get the inches they need.
They only need about 6 or 8 inches, it looks like, from when they measured it just a little bit ago. Argetna breaks their huddle on the far side after the Maroon timeout. The Maroons have been ready to go for several seconds now, and they come up to the line of scrimmage. 2 wideouts to the right-hand side. It's Idams and Schumacher. I formation in the backfield with Wilson and Rich. And it's a quarterback keeper for Nate Sams. He had good forward progress. He got knocked back, but he made sure that he got plenty of forward progress there as he threw himself forward an additional extra yard or so. And he's got more than enough for the first down to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, Jason Logg and Gary Rawlson, linebackers, came up and hit him, and it looked like he might not get it, but then he had that great second surge that got him the few yards that he needed.
So the drive's still alive. Clinton's leading 7-0, and they have their second possession of the football, moving in the right direction at the 36-yard line of Argetna, 1st and 10. Split the backfield this time. Second man, Rich will get the call. Tries to get around the right corner. Takes on a hit. Stays on his feet. Now he breaks into the clear down the sideline. Spins away from another man. 20. Jumps aside another man. 15-yard line. Beautiful run for touchdown. Holy cow, what a run.
What a play by Randy Rich, as it looked like a few times he's going to get tackled. And then he just broke him, went down the sidelines, and the best shot, Andy Moore, number 44 for Argetna, just blew the tackle, couldn't get him out of bounds either, and then Randy cut in some blocking by Schumacher downfield and just went in for the score.
That is a beautiful run by Randy Rich. You'll have to watch that one on the television replay on Clinton Cable TV Channel 10 next week. It goes for 36 yards, and now the kick for the extra point. This all happening with 5:50 to go in the first quarter of play. Clinton leading 13-0. High snap. Sams gets a placement down, but the line drive kick that was hurried by the high snap is no good as it sails to the left of the uprights. Timeout on the field. 5:50 to go in the first quarter of play, and the Maroons lead Argetna 13-0. The Clinton Maroons has them up 13-0 now, and here come the footballs into the crowd. What's going on, Joe? Somebody get conked.
We're getting some up here, Larry.
Hey, they got some arms on those girls down there. The souvenir football is being thrown out as Clinton celebrates their second touchdown of the ball game on a terrific run by Randy Rich, the Maroon tailback, of 36 yards. What a terrific run. I'm going to watch that over and over again on the video replay. From the 24-yard line, Micah Shepard, who had a good return on the first one, upfield 30, 35-yard line, knocked down. At about the 37-yard line, McCleary grabbed him around the ankles and dropped him, and Argetna will start at about their own 38-yard line, 1st and 10, Joe.
Yeah, that run was almost as nice looking as Terrence Randall's run last week, almost.
Well, that one was just goofy.
Yeah.
That was just a goofy run last week. Would you argue with that? Yeah, that's a goofy run. Yeah, I mean, a quarterback back to pass and drops all the way back to his own 10-yard line and scrambles for a touchdown. That was intended to be a run. You know, I thought he was going to be stopped after a 2-yard gain, but he brushed off a couple of tacklers and was able to cut it upfield and spun around and and then cut it back toward the center field, and boy, then all of a sudden he was in the clear for the last 5 yards and in for the touchdown. We got a flag before the first play by Argetna on this series. I want to call that play again. I'm going to take it home, I'm going to tape it, and then I'm going to put it in the VCR, and I'm going to sit there in my living room and just try to do the play-by-play of that one again. That was such an amazing play. 5-yard penalty against the Maroons. What'd we do?
Encroachment. One of our guys touched their line.
You were just bragging on him a little bit ago. 1st and 5 from the 44 of Argetna for the Bombers. Shepard hands it off second man. He's got a little bit of an opening. Into the secondary. He's to midfield. First down run. Remember, they had to get to about 5 yards for a first down. He got about 7 just into Clinton territory to about just across midfield to the 49-yard line. It was Albano who got the first down carry. Corey Albano, who's a 5'8", 145-pound junior tailback.
Yeah, they ran off of Argetna's right side, and Albano looked to have a little quickness there. He got out and had some nice blocks up front, picked up 8 yards.
I think I had him lined up the wrong way earlier. Andy Moore is lined up at the fullback spot. Albano is the tailback. I think I mentioned him the other way around a little bit earlier. My fault. Sorry about that. Here's Micah Shepard handing off Albano. He's got good quickness, and again, he's into the Maroons secondary. They run it right at the Maroons, and on these two particular plays, Argetna's moved the ball well. Looks like they said, hey, we're down 13-0. We need to get this squared away, and they picked up a quick 7 yards, almost 8 yards on that play.
And Albano looks to kind of be like a slashing type runner like Monticello's Delgadillo. He likes to get to the outside and try to...
I wish you hadn't brought him up. Don't mention names like that.
Find some holes.
2nd down and 3 for Argetna. They're in Maroon territory at about the 42-yard line, maybe the 43, somewhere in that vicinity. A man in motion from right to left, I formation in the backfield. Shepard will hand it off first man. He's got a very close, almost enough yardage for a first down inside the 40-yard line. Andy Moore down to about the 39, depending upon his spot. We'll see if they get the first down. The official maneuvering it out there on their right hash mark a little bit. They're looking it over, and I think he just motioned. Did he just motion first down? He said, hey, big guy, you with the white hat, you decide. And the big guy in charge says, yeah, it is a first down.
Yep, they ran a trap up the middle that time, and Moore just got enough for the first down, but it was a nice play by the linebackers. Wilson and McCleary came up for the stop.
So on 1st and 10 for Argetna, just inside the Maroon 40-yard line. They'll try the little pass. Quick tackle by Randy Rich, but it'll be a gain to about the 30-yard line, and a flag thrown for a late hit as somebody for the Maroons came across the top toward the tail end of that play as they were spinning Todd Carlson to the ground. And Argetna's going to be knocking at the doorstep here. They're about a yard or two short of a first down, but I think they're going to hit the Maroons with a 15-yard penalty for some unnecessary roughness here, a late hit.
Yeah, it looked like one of the guys definitely came in a little bit too late. It was a nice route by Carlson. He almost got to the first down marker. Then he had to break in a little bit, and Shepard found him. Although Randy Rich did a nice job wrapping him up so he couldn't get any more yards after that.
Mike Craig, you got something for us right now?
Yeah, they said they're saying down here, maybe the official said something about Igem's led with the helmet, and you don't do that.
Yeah, certainly not in high school football. The helmet came first as he was making the hit on that play, so it wasn't necessarily maybe being a late hit, but the fact that he led with the helmet. So they have 1st and 10 at about the 16-yard line out of the I formation. Micah Shepard will hand it off. Albano getting blocked from his fullback. Still on his feet, he's down to about the 10-yard line. About another 6-yard pickup on the play for Argetna as they are looking for pay dirt. We're down to under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. Clinton is leading 13-0. A 2nd and a long 4 coming up for the Bombers.
And another trap there as they send Albano up the middle. They're looking to have success on the middle and right sides of the line, although linebackers are making good stops.
Todd Carlson will go wide to the right-hand side. Another man inside of him is Jason Patterson. They haven't put it in the air too much, although they went to Carlson just a little bit ago. Micah Shepard now on 2nd down and about 5 to be more exact. And Carlson gets the call, Moore gets the call, and he'll push it down to about the 6-yard line and very close to a first down. Running hard to the left-hand side. They've got that ground game, that power ground game going pretty good right now. The Bombers are very close to first down. They're going to measure.
Yeah, Moore's kind of one of those smash-mouth football backs, the types of guys that like to run over you instead of run around you, and he's broke a few tackles like that.
How's that battle on the line going down there right now, Mike? It looks like Argetna may be getting a little bit of the upper hand right now.
Well, they are getting a pretty good push up the middle. The end here on this end, the Sanchez boy that they asked me to check about, he is pretty good size, and he just kind of crushed the defensive end on our side. He kind of smashed him down and had a good run around the corner.
Mike Sanchez is 6'2", 225. He's a tight end. He's just a freshman. He's just a baby, and he's 6'2", 225. And he's wearing number 30 for those of you watching the television replay. He fills out that number 30 real well. Looks like he's going to be a handful. He caught the winning touchdown last week against Shelbyville in that game they pulled out in the second half. They were short, but only by just a little bit. 3rd down and short for Argetna at the 6-yard line of Clinton. 2 wideouts to the left-hand side. Maroons adjust a little bit defensively here. Quarterback keeper. Good push by Argetna, and it appears to be enough for a first down for Micah Shepard. We'll see what kind of spot they give him, but he's at least to the 5-yard line, it looks like, from up here. And inside the 5-yard, it looks like. So they'll have a 5-yard line, that is. They'll have a 1st and goal between the 4 and 5-yard line for Argetna as they try to get within a touchdown of Clinton, trailing 13-0 here in the early going.
Yeah, the keeper up the middle for Shepard. And if I were the Maroons, I think they're still going to keep it on the ground, maybe more on another trap play up the middle.
Or they'll go to Albano, their tailback, who's gotten some nice blocks up front. They'll try the middle, big opening, and he's in easily for the touchdown. What a gaping hole. And Argetna's on the board and back within a touchdown of Clinton. That makes our score here with 2:47 to go in the first quarter of play. Clinton 13, Argetna-Oriana 6.
It was a trap play, but Larry called it. Albano got the call instead of Moore. And it was good blocking by the Argetna line as Albano wasn't touched. He went in for the score.
Extra point attempt coming up here. Looks like they'll look for the single. And on the field to try to kick it through the uprights is the Invisible Man. I'm going to have to make a guess who it is because we don't have his number listed in our program, but he puts it right through the uprights. Kick is good for Argetna. They're within 6 of Clinton. Again, there's 2:47 to go in the first quarter play. Our scores will take time out as Clinton 13, Argetna-Oriana 7. Oriana, they move it right down the field, and with a good, strong running game from their 2 backs, Andy Moore and especially Corey Albano, I believe is the correct way to pronounce it. Should have done my homework a little better, I guess. He punches it in from 4 yards out to give Argetna 7 points on the board after the extra point kick was good, and they're within 6 of Clinton, 13-7. Kickoff by Argetna coming our way now. Clinton has Schumacher and Ijam Steep. They're both standing at about their own 13-yard line or so. The approach and the boot from the Bombers. Low line drive kick that comes off to the side, and it looks like that's Randy Rich, and the official blows it dead. He didn't kneel down. He waved a fair catch by accident, obviously. And they're waving it dead at the 28-yard line. He was an up man on the play, Randy making that catch around the 28-yard line, and he was about 10 yards upfield when the whistles were blowing, and they said, no, he waved his arm in the air like a fair catch, and that's where Clinton will have to start this drive. And Randy, after that terrific run for the touchdown a little bit ago, I would have liked to seen him get a chance to run with that football. I wish his arm, if it was up there, hadn't been up there, but that's what the official saw.
Yeah, he had a pretty run, and too bad that they called that one dead.
I didn't see it. I'll have to watch for that on the TV replay, too, I guess. You know, there's a lot of things that you can miss the first time around. It's like going to see a good movie. You have to watch it again to catch some of the things you missed.
Or reading a good book.
That's too much work. Look at the pictures. Back to pass, Nate Sands, quick pop. Ijams makes the catch, 35-yard line, and tries to cut inside, bounces off a couple of men, and boy, nice spinning run, might have enough for a first down to about the 40-yard line. Ijams got another 5 yards after he was surrounded by 3 Bombers, but they couldn't pull him down, and at least offensively, the Maroons being pretty elusive out there running. They're taking on the hits and not going down too easy.
Yep, Randy had some nice moves on the touchdown run, and now Bobby was breaking tackles. We saw Nate break some tackles on some of his runs. So Argetna having a little problems tackling the Maroons players.
Somebody didn't line up right here on the second play. It was an 11-yard gain and a first down at the 40-yard line of Clinton, 1st and 10, but that's going to change here in a second. Officials having a little bit of a discussion here, and they're going to mark off some yardage against the Bombers again. They're watching that line of scrimmage real close, aren't they? Because we've had a couple calls against them that way and one against us, I guess, here in this first quarter play. Down to 2:28 to play in the first quarter. 1st and 5 for Clinton at their own 45. Sands under center. Has the football. Slipped and fell as he made the handoff. And it'll be a gain of only about a yard on the play for the Maroons. As he unraveled, I guess it was Wilson who ended up with that handoff, and it was, and he actually got about 2 yards on the play. 2nd and 3 coming up. It looked like Nate had his foot go out from under him as he was having to reach a long way to make the handoff to Wilson.
Yeah, it kind of looked like the Maroons were a little bit out of rhythm on that play because, as you mentioned, Nate had to just about dive to Wilson to get the handoff to him on the trap play up the middle.
Officials having a little discussion out there before they allow the Maroons to line up and run this 2nd down and 3 at their own 47. Maroons have scored 2 touchdowns already in this first period of play. Sam's back to pass, has some time, rolls out left. There's a flag on the play, thrown along the line of scrimmage. The pass downfield off the hands of Wes Graves. Good coverage there on the part of Jason Sims. And let's see what the flag is. Along the line of scrimmage, that could be trouble. Could be a hold or something along those lines. And Argetna players are clapping right now. Holding call against the Maroons. There was some pressure, although Nate was rolling out left anyway and had time to run away from it and make that pass, but apparently somebody made a grab in behind him and got caught with their hands in the wrong place, making the hold.
Yep, looked to be a holding call, and even though the pass wasn't completed, just like to mention, Randy Rich had a nice block. A blitzing linebacker would have had Nate for a loss, but Randy picked him up.
Well, the Maroons were in excellent position a moment ago. They had a first down and 5 at the 45. Now they're back at their own 37 and have a second down and 13 from the I formation. Schumacher and Igens wide. They're going to do, oh no, they fumbled the ball in the backfield, and Argetna's got the fumble. They tried to run a reverse to Igens, and Sam's pitch to Igens on the reverse was thrown behind Bob, and it's recovered by Argetna at the 31-yard line. The Maroons have put the ball on the ground, and the Bombers have the football in scoring position, and they trail the Maroons only by 6. Now they have the football.
Yeah, they tried the reverse, and the ball ended up on the ground, and linebacker for Argetna, Jason Logg, came up with the ball, so that gives Argetna an opportunity for another score.
They were really trying to fool Argetna, and I think if Bob had gotten that ball cleanly, he would have been off to the races down the far sideline. It's hard to say because he didn't get near that far because he never got the football in his hands, but the ball just didn't get to him on that pitch. So Argetna in scoring position here late in the first period of play. Micah Shepard has him up to the line of scrimmage. Fakes a couple of handoffs, rolls out right, wants to throw. He's got a short man open downfield, but goes deep for the the tight end, Sanchez, who was open at about the 10, but overshot him on the play. And he looked like he had a lot of room to roam down there. Could have easily run in the end zone if that pass hadn't been several yards over his head.
Yeah, he did have a lot of room, and one of the people that made Shepard throw a little bit earlier than I think he wanted to, Lucas Ward, was in pursuit of him and had some nice pressure.
Second down and 10 for Argetna. Trying to get right back in this ball game, trailing Clinton by a score of 13-7. Clinton led 13-0, but Argetna scored on their last possession, moved it right down the field on the ground. They tried to hit for a quick score that time. They sent Carlson and Scott wide to the right-hand side from the I formation. Long call, and then the handoff, and Albano has an opening on the right-hand side, but coming up quickly is Bob Igens from his secondary spot to put him down. But they're getting through that line a little too quickly, Joe, and it was a quick 4, maybe 5 yards on the play. Closer to 4. They'll have third down and 6 coming up. Igens' great hustle up from deep in the secondary, then make a strong tackle, kept that one from being a very big gain.
Yeah, it's a good read because it's not easy for DBs to come up and read running plays because the play action fakes, but Bobby read it well. And Albano, that looks to be one of his strengths. He hits the holes really quickly.
And there's been some nice holes for him here late in this first period of play. On the third down, they'll roll out left and try to throw. Maroon's almost there to make the sack, but he gets the pass off. Deep downfield, Randy Rich almost makes the diving interception near the goal line as he overshot his intended receiver. And again, the Maroons had good pressure on Micah Shepard that time and forced him into hurrying that pass and throwing it too deep.
Yeah, Lucas Ward had his hands on him, and Clyde Leggett wasn't too far behind. And I think, once again, Shepard was hurried, and he didn't make as good a throw as maybe could have.
Stops the clock with 25 seconds to go, and what's turned out to be a pretty long first period of play. We've been playing for a half hour, and Argetna has a 4th down and 6 decision to make here. And, of course, they will go for it. They're at the 26-yard line of the Maroons, or thereabouts, 26, 27-yard line. They need at least 6 yards for a first down. Micah Shepard with the long call, has the football. Tries a quick pop over the middle and throws downfield. It's intercepted by Schumacher. Schumacher on a return from the 15-yard line to the 20. Past the blockers upfield. He's to the 35 and goes out of bounds at around the 40-yard line. And the Maroons have the football. Ryan Schumacher on another poorly thrown pass. I think Shepard hurried it a little bit again. Missed his man badly. As a matter of fact, I don't think his intended receiver was looking for the ball. And playing safety on that play, kind of playing center field. Schumacher was able to make the pick and a good return on it.
Yeah, Albano wasn't even looking at him, and he didn't see the ball, and Schumacher saw it all the way. It was a nice job by Saul Mary to knock Schumacher out of bounds before Schumacher could run it back for a touchdown.
He returned it all the way from about the 10 to the 42-yard line of Clinton, and with the final play of this first quarter, it's Rich to the 50, 48, 47, 46-yard line. Looks to be enough for a first down in Argetna territory, and the momentum which was starting to swing Argetna's way, I think is starting to swing back in the favor of the Maroons here in the final seconds of the first quarter of play. We'll take a break. It's been an exciting first quarter of play, and our score is Clinton 13, Argetna-Oriana 7. Back here at Clinton High School, we've completed one quarter of play, and a good first quarter, 13-7, Clinton with the lead. And Clinton will have the ball in Argetna territory with a 1st and 10 at about the 46, or they've spotted it closer to the 47-yard line. And as I said right before we went to break, Joe, it looks like the momentum's starting to swing back to Clinton's way after Argetna seemed to have it the last few minutes of the first quarter.
Yep, they got the nice defensive stop on the pickoff by Schumacher. And Randy Rich, a guy whose number hasn't been called a lot the first 2 weeks, has looked pretty impressive here tonight.
So at the 47 of Argetna, 1st and 10 for Clinton, and somebody jumped there on the right end. I think Schumacher got off a count too quickly. We'll have a penalty coming up, I guess, against the Maroons here. We'll wait and see if the officials saw it that way. Mike Craig, during the break between periods, you were standing near the Clinton huddle. Could you hear what was going on there in the huddle by the sideline, or were you afraid to stick your head in there and listen too closely?
Well, Coach Knutson was telling them that they are winning this game. They're just going to have to, not make a mistake like Nate. Nate took his eyes off of Idgens on the pitch. The little mental mistake's going to hurt him, but he was just reinforcing that they are going to win this game.
5-yard penalty on the Maroons, 1st and 15. They're at their own 48-yard line. And Sam's option left, cuts it upfield, finds an opening, got hit around the ankles, but stayed on his feet and got it to the 41 of Argetna. I think it was Carlson who dove for his ankles and tripped him up, but Nate still gained an additional 5 yards or so after he was tripped up there, and good forward progress. Got about 10 yards back on that play, so we'll have a 2nd and 5 coming up.
Yeah, once again successful with the option play, that time to the left side. Had some nice blocking as the line walled off the defenders to the outside. Nate ran inside.
Wideouts each way. Sams wants to throw. Pops it over the middle. Schumacher, a great catch with a man on his back. Has the 1st down. Good run down to the 30-yard line. Sanchez went for the play and was right on his back when Schumacher made the catch. Schu just was able to brush him off and turn around and cut it upfield for an additional 10 yards after making the catch. Just a nice play by a senior receiver there.
Yeah, Sanchez put a nice pop on him into the backside. And Nate with some equipment problems there, but it was a nice job of concentration by Schumacher to hold on to the ball.
Absolutely. Made a nice catch. And then had presence of mind to turn away from that guy and just cut it upfield and get a good run on it. Looks like Nate's having to adjust something on his helmet, but has it squared away. The line of scrimmage is now the 31 of Argetna, 1st and 10 for Clinton. We're early in quarter number 2. Clinton is leading 13-7. Here's Wes Graves lined up wide to the left-hand side, a split backfield. Everyone else is tight on the line, double tight end. Oh, they fumbled it on the ground, but Nate picks it up, looking for a hole, and is going to get positive yardage of about 5, maybe 6 yards on the play out of it before he caught from behind by Andy Moore and dropped.
Yeah, nice improvisation by Nate there. Ball on the ground. He had the presence of mind to pick it up and run with it. And he got good gain of 6 yards, as you mentioned, as it ended up being an option play to the left side.
Looked like the offensive line got a pretty good push ahead of him and gave him time to regroup, pick up that football, and look for a hole. And the offensive line doing a pretty good job here tonight. They've helped the Maroons score a couple of touchdowns early. Sams hands it off up the middle. Wilson, nice handoff as Nate spun and ran away like he was going to run option left, but it cleanly handed it off up the middle to Wilson, and he pops it for a couple of more. Inside the 25 down to about the 20, maybe the 22-yard line. 3rd down and a long run. We'll call it close to 2 yards for a 1st down coming up for the Maroons. They're in Argetna territory at the 22-yard line. Idgens and Schumacher will go wide to the right-hand side. Rich, who made a spectacular run, is lined up at tailback behind Wilson. And they'll block for Sams, who breaks away from a man trying to grab him. Now throws it. Oh, had interception written all over it, but it's knocked away, incomplete. Corey Albano stepped right in front of Schumacher at the 10-yard line and had a shot at picking that one off, but it went off his hands and incomplete. As Nate saw Schu open for a moment at the 10, but then Albano was there to pick it off.
Yeah, they ran a sideline out pattern to Schumacher. Albano closed on the play nicely. Nate, it looked like the pass was a little bit behind Schumacher because Nate was on the run, and it's difficult to throw when you're running like that.
4th and 2 for the Maroons at the 22-yard line of Argetna. 10 minutes ago in the second quarter of play. Sams with the football, fakes the handoff to Wilson. Option right, he will pitch. Rich has it. He has the 1st down. He cuts it outside, stays on his feet, and then goes out of bounds at around the 15. We'll see how much forward progress they gave him, but he has well more than what he needed to get the 1st down, about an additional 5 yards past the 20-yard line where they had to go for the 1st down, and they're going to spawn him just inside the 15-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Maroons.
And what a great pitch by Nate as the inside contained guy almost tackled him. Nate waited that long and then pitches to Randy, and Randy had a nice run for the 1st down.
Yeah, Randy was wide open at that point when they were trying to make the play on Nate. That's the way your option quarterback needs to run it. out of the split backfield. They'll try the middle. Wilson, big opening up the middle. He's inside the 10, still spinning, and inside the 5, down to about the 4, maybe the 3-yard line. Great strong run up the middle for Wilson. We haven't seen as much of that tonight as we did last week, but there he got going.
Yeah, and obviously Lucas Ward, the center, must have ripped a big hole open, and the rest of the line did a nice job as Wilson just bowled right through the middle.
Clinton trying to open it up to a 2-touchdown lead again. They led 13-0 a while ago. It's 13-7 right now. But from near the 3-yard line, it's 1st and goal for Clinton. They're going toward the south goal. Right receiver to the right-hand side is Ijam. Sams is going to try a quarterback keeper. He's knocked around, and he is stopped short. He did get some forward progress, but we'll have to wait and see how much. Maybe just a yard, maybe 2 yards. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, they kept it on the keeper that time. It was a nice push by Argetna's defensive line, and number 51, Jason Logg, came across and had the first hit on Nate Lowe.
Mike, where are we at? On the 1-yard line down there?
About the half-yard line.
Half-yard line. Hey, that's why we got you down there. You can pinpoint it for us. You got your yardstick in your hand so you can measure?
Just a close guess.
All right. Sams from a half-yard out. He will hand it off. They'll try the middle, and did they get it? The Maroons say they do, and now we finally get the signal. The Maroons have put it in the end zone. They give credit to Josh Wilson on the carry up the middle, and it was Wilson who comes out of there with the score for the Maroons.
Yeah, only needed a few inches there. Nothing fancy. They put it to Wilson up the middle. And once again, the line, especially Lucas Ward, the center, that's who they ran behind, did a good job blocking, opened up the hole, and Wilson had enough for the score.
So Josh Wilson will get credit for a 1-yard run for the 3rd touchdown of the ball game for the Clinton Maroons, who now lead 19-7. 9:06 as I look around the pole. They go in the second quarter play. Maroons are going to try for 2. Sams dropping straight back, rolling out right, pops it toward the back of the end zone, and there are defenders there to knock it away from Ryan Schumacher. The pass was a little short, and good defensive coverage by Argetna to prevent that 2-point conversion. I think it was Albano again, the man that was there defensively to knock it away. Timeout on the field. 9 minutes, 6 seconds to go before halftime, and Clinton leads 19-7. Well, Clinton has bounced back now after letting their lead slip away a little bit. A 13-0 lead get down to 13-7, and Argetna getting a gift from the Maroons, a fumble that put Argetna in scoring position again. The Maroons were able to get an interception and turn it around and make it a score, and they're up by 2 touchdowns again, Joe.
Yeah, and we mentioned a little bit before we went on to the game that turnovers are a key, and so far 2 turnovers by Argetna has led directly to Clinton scores.
Tony Simonton will kick it off. You know, we mentioned something else. I'll get to that in a second. But we're right on pace for it, Joe. Kick will be taken by one of the up men. That's Carlson, I believe it is. 35, looking for some blocks, and goes down about the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 from Argetna at the 40. The gold pants mean 40 or more points, and we have 19, and we still have 9 minutes to go before halftime. So, Joe, those gold pants are doing the trick again offensively.
Well, I told you they were offensive pants last week, and it's holding true.
Wait a second. Are they offensive? They're offensive, or are they offensive?
Offensive. It's all on how you pronounce it.
I suppose after the game they could be offensive to the mom, but when they take them home to do the laundry. Never mind.
And by the way, on the kickoff play, nice tackle by Brian Preston there.
Thank you for pointing that out. We need to give credit to those guys, and I don't do that often enough. 2 wideouts to the left-hand side for Argetna. Long call by Micah. Yeah, he gets the handoff, though. Albano, but he's stood straight up by Josh Wilson, then gets good help on the play. Nate Sams and some others were there, and we got to give credit to some of these other guys.
Ward.
Thank you. Lucas Ward was there. And no gain on the play, maybe even a loss of a half-yard or so. 2nd down and about 10 coming up for Argetna at their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, they tried a trap, and on the line of scrimmage, Wilson stood the running back straight up in the air and then waited for help to converge, and they made a nice stop for a loss.
Good crowd here tonight. It's not quite a capacity crowd by any means. A lot of people are standing along the fence, and if they were sitting in the bleachers would be absolutely packed, but the bleachers are very full. It's similar to what we had for Central Catholic in the opening ball game, much bigger than we had last week against Moments for the Saturday afternoon ball game. They like these Friday night ball games, and it's a delightful night temperature-wise for high school football. Got a flag on the play. Maroons are still on the line down. Look at those guys. They're still scrambling around trying to decide where they're going to line up, and the officials have blown their whistles and stopped play for a moment with another flag before the snap of the football. What's going on here? We got another penalty of someone. Offsides, Clinton. They are really watching that closely tonight. You know, I guess it's a penalty, but it's hard to believe that, you know, last week nobody ever did that, and this week we got both teams doing it all the time.
Yeah, two times for each team. That's kind of hard to believe.
I guess different officiating crews keep a close eye on different things. It'll be second down and about 6 after the 5-yard walk-off for Argetna. They're at the 45, their own 45. Micah Shepard with a one lone back in the backfield. He'll give it to him. Albano has a good running start, 50, 45, and knocked down hard. But he's to the 43-yard line of Clinton and a first down. He really had a lot of room to roam that time, and man, he's got some acceleration. When he runs just straight up the field, he can really get moving.
Yeah, he hits the holes hard, and it was a nice job of blocking by Argetna there. They sealed off the middle linebacker, Josh Wilson. Randy Rich made the stop on the play. But as you mentioned, Albano hits the holes really quick.
7:40 to go before halftime. Clinton's leading 19-7, but Argetna with a little bit of a drive going here at the 43 of Clinton. Shepard has the football. He'll give it to the fullback, and he'll be brought down immediately. Moore was really bottled up in the middle of the Maroons line, and then they finally were able to knock him down the rest of the way. Lucas Ward knocked him down, but I think the guy down at the bottom of the pile really botching things up. Yeah, was Adam Moore. Adam, who's just a junior, 5'11", 190 pounds. He was the guy that came off the bottom of that pile. No gain on the play, even a loss of just a half yard or so.
Yeah, look, the past few times when Argetna's tried to go up the middle of the defensive line, doing a nice job plugging the wide receiver up, standing him up, and waiting for help on the tackle.
Here's Shepard on second down at about 10 and a half. Oh, see hands off, up the middle, first down yardage, and Moore's in the clear. Sams will try to chase him down from behind, missed the tackle. Ijams grabs him, throws him down at the 6-yard line. I second-guessed myself for a second there on Shepard for some reason, but he made the handoff, and Moore was off to the races from the very start. A big opening on the right-hand side, and Sams tried to make the big play to try to swipe the ball out of his hands and knock it loose, but he missed and also didn't get the tackle, and finally Ijams made the tackle at the 6-yard line. It's first and goal for Argetna.
And one of the Maroons tacklers was deceived a little bit. Somebody on the line hit Shepard really hard, thought he still had the ball, and that's what sprung Moore, I think.
Well, they confused me a little bit, too, and I'm clear up here in the booth where I got a bird's-eye view of the thing. But that's easy to do with me. At the 6-yard line, first and goal for Argetna. Shepard with the call, fumbled the football, fight for the loose ball, and the Maroons might have gotten it again. It was kicked around for a while and knocked to about the 5-yard line. And the Maroons get another break. I mean, plain and simple, Joe, they get a break because that was just a simple missed snap from center to quarterback. Micah Shepard was stepping back, and you could see the ball was on the ground. He was trying to get to it, but his center was backing into him, and he couldn't get back to the football, and nobody for Argetna saw it, and the Maroons were able to recover it.
Yeah, that's 2 times, and you really don't expect it the 3rd week into the season. And recovery by Bobby Ijams there at the bottom of the pile.
Maroons from their own 5 will run on first down and punch it out for a couple of yards. They think it was Bob Ijams, the man that came up with the football, but there was a lot of Maroon shirts in the vicinity when they came out of there with the loose ball. And so 2 fumbles, costly fumbles by Argetna when they've been in scoring position, have kept them at 7 points on the board so far in this ball game. And they got to be kicking themselves a little bit. I think it was Wilson who got the call and got 3. So we got 2nd and 7 for the Maroons. Ijams goes wide right. Schumacher goes wide left. They'll probably play it safe and keep it on the ground here. No, look at this. Sam's rolling out right. Wants to throw. Pops a low-line drive that was just too low and too hard for Ijams to handle. And Nate Sams kind of points back at himself and says, man, I made that too tough for you to try to catch. They were just trying to get enough for the first down to Ijams out there at about the 15-yard line. But that was too hot to catch around your shoe tops.
Yeah, it was a designed rollout for Nate to go to the right side of the line. And as you mentioned, I just think he hurried the throw a little bit too much because he saw coverage converging on the play.
Big play here for the Maroons offense. 3rd and 7 from their own 8-yard line with 5:40 to go before halftime. And Sams will try to option. He's caught behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to be dumped. Oh, now he tried a forward lateral, which could have been considered a pass, I guess, on that particular play and was completed to Randy Rich, but the officials blew the play dead, said he was down on a knee and blown dead at the 5-yard line. That, a little scary looking, but was kind of a heads-up play by Sams if they would have allowed it, because he got it to Rich, and Rich might have been able to run it for the first down.
Yeah, but I think they called it in the grass.
Right.
So
he might have had his knee down by that time. So kicking from his own end zone, a punt here for Nate Sams and the Maroons. And Argetna's been known to block some punts. High snap, gets the kick away. Now we need good coverage. Good kick by Sams. Fair catch is called for and fumbled. And fight for the ball. It's knocked loose. Oh, he got it back. Oh, my, the Maroons did an excellent job trying to keep that one away from Micah Shepard. But Micah Shepard dodges a bullet and gets the ball back at the 45-yard line. He had 3 guys surrounding him and slapping at that ball, and they almost took it away from him.
Yeah, it took a tough hop in the air, and then it was a jump ball. Randy Rich knocked it try to knock it free to Ryan Schumacher on the other side of Shepard, but Shepard alertly fell on the ball.
It took a nice bounce when it hit the turf the second time, right back up to Shepard, and he fell on top of it, and he breathes a sigh of relief there. Argetna, after a terrific punt by Sams, will start at the 45-yard line of Clinton. Got an additional 5 yards from where it initially came down on the fight for the loose ball. Shepard wants to throw, rolling out left, fires it downfield, got a man there. The catch is made out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Todd Carlson makes the catch and is immediately run out of bounds by Rich and Nate Sams. But a first down for Argetna at the 30-yard line of Clinton, a quick pickup of 15 yards.
Yeah, Carlson is the leading receiver for the Bombers, and they ran an out pattern to him to the sidelines, picked up 15 yards and a first down there. And Carlson looks to be the #1 option on most of their passing plays.
Hard-fought ball game here. We're in the second quarter of play, approaching halftime. Clinton leading 19-7. But they've been aided by a couple of turnovers by Argetna when they've been in scoring position. Now they're there again at the 30-yard line of Clinton. Shepard will hand it off, opening for Albano. Has some blockers out in front, but somebody fought through nicely. Igens brushed off the blockers and makes the tackle and stops it after about a 4 or 5 yard gain.
Yeah, and
that's a nice play by Bob Igens fighting through. They had 2 big blockers out in front, and he knifed through them somehow to make the tackle on the running back.
Yeah, and I think Adam Moore held on to the jersey a little bit of the running back, kind of slow him down, and then Bobby could get to him.
I didn't see that part. I'm glad you point that out. Second down and about 6 coming up for Argetna. They're at the 26-yard line of Clinton. Clock still with well over 4 minutes to go before halftime. Still much too much time for Argetna to do something here. Shepard will hand it off, and they're there this time for Moore, the big fullback. No opening this time on the line of scrimmage, and there's several Maroons there, led by Kevin McCleary.
Yeah, Wes Graves got him high to finish off the tackle, and they've been standing up more the past few runs he's had up the middle.
Mike Craig down there in the sideline. Is this a pretty even battle here on the line of scrimmage today?
Well, it is a pretty even battle on the line of scrimmage there. Argetna seems to be able to move the ball if they quit shooting themselves in the foot, as we like to say.
Well, and then on the other hand, the Maroons offense has been able to move the ball pretty well behind their offensive line for the most part, except for that last series when they were deep in their own territory. Shepard on a drop play. Albano trying the middle, and there are the Maroons that knock it down, and it's, I think it was McCleary again, who was right in the middle, who grabbed him around the ankles and dropped him at the 24-yard line or so. They also give credit to Jimmy Savage, but I saw McCleary come up from that vicinity too. It's 4th down, and 4, almost 5 yards to go for a first down for Argetna.
Yeah, McCleary has been a productive linebacker for the Maroons this year. He's done a nice job, and he is the halftime interview. He had plenty of nice things to say, and you can listen to that at halftime.
Here on the radio broadcast, live on WHOW, out of the I formation, Argetna needs a first down to keep their drive alive. And they will keep the ball and roll out right and throw downfield. Open man as Sanchez makes the catch, and he's inside the 10-yard line down to about the 9 or so. First down and goal, Argetna. Igens and Rich were there to make the tackle, but the big tight end was wide open and made the catch and got the first down.
Yeah, Sanchez released off the line and found an open spot in the Clinton defense and had room to roam. Nice tackle, though, by the secondary to knock down Sanchez. Even though he's a freshman, he's no easy guy to get down.
One of the biggest freshmen I've ever seen. 2 minutes and 39 clock running to go before halftime. Argetna's knocking at the door at the 9-yard line. Micah Shepard has him up to the line of scrimmage. And on first and goal for the 9, he dropped the football on the ground, picks it back up, but he will be knocked down for a loss on the play, and they almost took it out of his hands. They're having some trouble on that snap from center to quarterback, and that cost them dearly on that play. They lost a yard or so. And the officials stopped the clock. Argetna's going to use a timeout here. We'll take timeout also. 2:20 to go before halftime. Clinton is clinging right now. Well, not really clinging, but they're trying to keep their lead to 2 touchdowns, and Argetna keeps knocking at the doors. Clinton leads 19-7. 20 seconds to go before we reach halftime. It'll be second and goal for Argetna outside the 10-yard line of Clinton now after they lost yardage on that first down play. They split the backfield. We resume play here. Argetna with the football in scoring position. They'll send a man in motion. Moore will go to the right-hand side. Albano will try to carry up the middle, and the Maroons close the gap quickly. And very little gain on the play as Wes Graves from his end position makes the tackle around the ankle. Just inside the 10-yard line, only about a 1-yard pickup. It's third and goal from Argetna near the 9, maybe really closer to the 10-yard line. Sorry, Joe, I turned off your microphone, bud. It's back on now.
That's okay. Clinton's defensive line had a nice push there, and that allowed the linebackers to come up and stop Albano for a short gain.
Shepard's thrown the ball well at times in this ball game. He might be forced to do so here. We'll see. Carlson's wide to the left-hand side. He has the football, fakes the handoff, rolls out the left-hand side, has some pressure, tries a short man. He hurried it, and he threw it at the feet of Moore, incomplete. Wes Graves was one of the guys that was in the face of Mike Shepard, and I think forced him to hurry that throw.
Yeah, he had plenty of pressure. Clyde Leggett was also chasing him down from behind, and the plays they roll out, they've had a lot of pressure put on them.
They seem to work in the Maroons' favor somewhat here. When they roll out, the Maroons able to spring loose from those blockers and get in the face of him a little bit. It does spread the field a little bit, though, and gives him a chance to, if he can see, he can get the ball to an open receiver possibly. 1:41 to go. This is a 4th down and goal. They've got to get in the end zone or give it back to the Maroons. Back to pass to Shepard. Quick pass over the middle. Broken up nicely and intercepted. No, it drops incomplete, but it doesn't make any difference. The Maroons will have the football. Sanchez was the intended receiver, and I think it was Kevin McCleary who dropped back to be right in his face and knocked the ball away, and then Sams almost caught the deflected pass, but it doesn't make any difference. It goes incomplete, and the Maroons will take over near the 10-yard line.
Heads up play by Kevin. Sanchez was right there waiting for the ball, and Kevin just played the ball nicely and knocked it down, and Nate almost made a great athletic play, although I think it's better that it fell to the turf.
Yeah, get a little better field position because it would have been at about the 2 or 3 yard line. Sams will hand it off. Randy Rich will run it out. Gets it across the 10 to about the 12-yard line. 1.5 to go before halftime. Mike Craig was right down there near the 15-yard line watching that play. And, Mike, was it McCleary, as we thought, that dropped back and made the play on Sanchez on that particular pass play?
Yeah, I believe it was McCleary, and I do believe Nate did intercept that ball, but I think we're a little bit better off where we are.
Yeah, absolutely. Looked like Sanchez was wanting to plead his case for a little pass interference there. Did it look like there was any pass interference on the play?
No, I think they both got there about the same time.
Good, strong play then by McCleary. Maroons on 2nd down. We'll run it up the middle after the 15-yard line. And probably the Maroons obviously not wanting to cough up the football here and just try to run out the clock if they can. It's under a minute to go before halftime. Clinton is leading 19-7. They have dodged some bullets here as Argetna has come close to bombarding the end zone for some scores, using their nickname a bit, the Bombers. But they have fumbled the ball away a couple of times, and that time the Maroons defense was able to make the big plays to keep them out of the end zone.
Yeah, bend but not break. They haven't given up the score, and that's all that counts.
So they're up by 2 touchdowns. Here's a 3rd down and 4 now for the Maroons. Eijens and Schumacher go wide to the left. Clock is run down now to 23 seconds on the ground. Need the 1st down. Wilson's fighting hard for it. He's going to be stopped a yard short. And they will stop the clock. Argetna calls for timeout. 17 seconds on the clock. We'll keep it here and then take a break when we reach halftime. It's been a good first half of football, Joe. Of course, we feel good about it because the Maroons are up 19-7, but both teams have played very well. Argetna might even have more yardage in this ball game. And obviously, their 2 turnovers, those 2 fumbles, have cost them dearly in this ball game.
Yeah, they just can't seem to get over the hump once they get down to
I think I'm saying 2 fumbles. I think one was a fumble, one was an interception. Am I right on that? Stand corrected. I'll correct myself.
Well, they had 2 fumbles, but they got one of them back. You're right there.
But the times that they had chances to score was the pass that Schumacher intercepted, and then when they were down real close and they fumbled to snap from center, that was recovered by the Maroons. So those were the actual turnovers. So yeah, I just wanted to correct myself on that.
They just can't seem to, once they get deep in the Maroons territory, they just can't seem to mount the score, and it's impressive stops by Clinton defense to keep them to the 1 touchdown.
Interesting to see what the Maroons do here. It's 4th and 1. Will they line up at the line of scrimmage and try to draw them across and then call timeout because they have timeouts to use? Will Argetna be silly enough to jump across the line of scrimmage? Sams is up under center on 4th and 1 from his own 19-yard line. Oh, they came across. I don't believe it, Joe.
Nate drew him across just like against Blooming Central Catholic.
All right, we're going to keep the football for the last 17 seconds of the first half. You had to know that if he wasn't able to do that, if this is going to be the call, the officials are still talking it over here. Offsides, yeah, encroachment called against Argetna. If they hadn't been able to do that, if they had sat back and just let him go through his cadence there, we would have called timeout and then gone to punt formation and kicked the ball to them. But they didn't scout us enough, I guess. I better quit talking about it because these teams in the future aren't going to go for this.
Well, in the short yardage plays, the defensive linemen get so pumped up because they know they have to.
That's right.
Get a good push going that sometimes they start early.
We're at the 24-yard line. Sams drops back, kneels down, and attempt to run out the clock here in the first half. It's running 10 seconds to go, and Argetna will let it roll also. So we're going to reach halftime here at Clinton High School in game number 3 of the season. The Maroons lead at the intermission. Our scores will recap it for you in just a moment. Is Clinton 19, Argetna? We'll start the second half of action here shortly.
Yeah, we did kick off, and then Argetna fumbled on their play, so Yeagle will be setting it up for Argetna to kick off.
You know, you know what they say, the best defense is a good offense, one that keeps the ball out of the hands of the opponents, and we like to see our Maroon offense on the football field. They've done a pretty good job moving the football. They've put 19 points on the scoreboard so far, and it'd be nice to have a nice, strong drive down the football field for some points to start the second half of action and get that lead up to a 3-score lead, not just a 2-score lead like it is right now, 19-7.
Yeah, get a score on the board and also take some time off the clock.
The kicker who kicked the extra point a little bit earlier in this ball game is just a freshman. His name is Mike Yeagle, and he's teeing that ball up at the 40-yard line, obviously, on the right hash mark. The officials checking over the field. Hands in the air right now. Now they hit the whistle, and we're set to start the second half of action with Clinton leading 19-7. Good kick. Boy, they got a couple of good freshmen. Ijems from the 26, 30, 35, up the middle, finds an opening, 40-yard line, runs around another man, 50-yard line, 45. Yeagle tries to make the tackle and does so. The freshman kicker makes the tackle, but Bob Ijems gets it started in the right direction as he returns it to the 41-yard line of Argetna-Oriana.
Yeah, Ijems made some nice moves, came out of the middle and cut it back to the left side, found some room along the sidelines, and Yeagle is kind of a big boy. He doesn't look like a kicker, Larry.
Well, he's got some size on him, and he made a good strong tackle on Ijems to slow down that return, but not till it was all the way to the 41-yard line. So here are the Maroons, 1st and 10 at the 41 of Argetna. I formation, 2 wide to the left-hand side. Handoff goes to Wilson. Caught from behind and drugged down with one hand by Rich Minnick, a 6-foot, 180-pound senior who had him from behind and got help from the other side. But Wilson got a couple of yards. 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Maroons at the 39 of Argetna.
Yeah, ran a quick draw play off the left side. As you mentioned, Minnick came up off the line, and also a few linebackers came up to help him out. Andy Moore was there.
2 wide receivers to the right-hand side this time. Ijems and Schumacher. Option left to the short side of the field, and Sanchez is there to slow down Sams and put him down, and then the Maroons looking for a late hit on that play, and an Argetna player is shook up on that tackle. That looks like to be their big guy, Andy Moore, who's the fullback on offense, but they helped him back up to his feet.
And that was the guy that had kind of a late hit, wasn't it?
Well, who am I to say? The officials didn't see it that way. No flags on the play. 3rd down and 7 now for the Maroons. So this drive, which started in great field position, needs 7 big yards here to keep it moving deeper into Argetna territory. They're at the 38-yard line of the Bombers. Sams from the I formation, dropping straight back, under a little pressure. Off to Wilson, got some blocking upfield, puts his head down, and is very close to the 1st down. A good strong tackle by Jason Sims. Got him near the 1st down marker. Did he get the 1st down near the 31-yard line? It's going to be very close as they bring it back toward the center of the field.
That was a flood pattern to the right side to Wilson, and it looks like he'll be a little short.
Didn't get a good spot. And the fans over here, way across the field, show their disapproval with a few. Were they saying ooh and ah? No, I don't think so.
No, I think it was just straight boos.
Yeah. All right, 4th and 1. Sam's under center. Will the quarterback keep it? A little hesitation. Boy, he gets the 1st down, shuffles his feet, and gets it to the 27. He didn't push straight forward. Kind of looked like a quarterback draw play to me, but anyway, it's enough for a 1st down as he gets it to, well, they say the 28-yard line of Argetna. 1st down, Clinton.
Yeah, well, maybe Nate thought they were expecting him to plunge right up the middle, so he figured he'd throw off their timing and run around the end.
It worked. It worked nonetheless. 1st down. Split backfield this time. Wilson gets the call. Pops it outside. Still on his feet, and then he's wrestled to the ground about the 25-yard line. Be about a 3-yard gain for the Maroons. And Josh Wilson, what a workhorse he's been already early in the season. We're only in the 3rd game of the year, and he's been a tough one. He gets almost 3 yards on the play. 2nd and a long 7 coming up for the Maroons.
Yeah, they ran him off the right side. Now, Albano, the nice running back for Argetna, came up with a good stop from the secondary that time.
Schumacher, Ijems go wide left this time, out of the I formation. At the 25 of Argetna, Sams option left. He dropped the ball on the ground, and he gave it right to Argetna. He wasn't hit. It just squirted out of his hands, and then he kicked it around his ankles, and the big lineman that was coming up to make the play fell on the football for Argetna, and the Maroons put the ball on the ground, and Argetna has come up with the turnover.
Yeah, it looked like when he went out on the option left, his knee might have came up and hit the ball and knocked it out, and Sal Mary came up with the recovery for Argetna.
At the 27-yard line, Argetna, with the turnover, is able to stop the Maroons. Let's see if the Maroons defense can slow down this offense, which has been moving the ball pretty well. Micah Shepard, of course, in their quarterback. He drops the ball from center, and I think he might have got it back. Jimmy Savage was there. They're wrestling for the ball. Let's see who the officials, who aren't really hustling in there too quick to see who's got the football, are going to give it to. And Argetna's Micah Shepard got it back. Boy, that's, what, 4 or 5 times the snap from center to quarterback has gotten away. And they got it back that time. A short loss on the play.
Yeah, and in those piles like that, you don't know how many times the ball changed hands either.
Well, it did look like from our angle that Shepard had gotten back on top of the ball, so I think the right man had the ball, but I was still hoping that maybe we came out with it.
But maybe that Jim Savage theory is proven out right. The center does look to be pulling out quickly and not getting the ball into Shepard's hands.
2nd and 10 for Argetna. They're back at their own 26-yard line. He's got it cleanly this time. He's rolling out left, wants to look downfield, firing it for Carlson, and it goes through his hands, and incomplete. Randy Rich with the coverage near the first down marker, near the 37-yard line. Carlson had a shot at it, but it went through his arms right in front of his own bench, incomplete.
Yeah, they run an out pattern to Carlson to the sidelines. It was good coverage by Randy Rich. You defend those out patterns by moving them as close to the sidelines as you can get them, and you just about have to throw a perfect pass, and Shepard was just a little off on that pass.
Early in the third quarter of play, 19-7, Clinton has the lead of 12 points. Argetna with the football, but they have a 3rd and 10, a little over 10 yards to go for a first down. From their own 26-yard line, they take a long time in their huddle. Now here's Carlson to the left-hand side. Jason Patterson to the right-hand side. One lone back in the backfield. Now Patterson goes in motion to the left. Lines up in the slot. They'll drop straight back. Now spinning away. Shepard stepping up in the pocket, fires it over the middle. Got a man there, and a first down catch is made by Carlson as he bangs together with his tight end after making the catch. A good strong hit by the Maroons. But Carlson has the first down catch out short of the 40-yard line at about the 38.
Yeah, and that turned out good for Argetna because Sanchez just about came up and made a play for the ball. And if he would have made a play for the ball, he might have got taken down before they got the first down. But Carlson made the play on it as both receivers were in the area.
Big first down for Argetna. They convert the 3rd down and long play, and they're out at their own 38-yard line now with a 1st and 10 from the I formation. Micah Shepard. Long call this time. Has the football. Tries the second man. Gets it off to him. Albano. He's hemmed in on the inside after a gain of about a yard or so. Josh Wilson stepped up there. Ryan Schumacher was in the vicinity, and somebody else was in that vicinity also. I'm still double-checking numbers. Did you catch it, Joe?
Yeah, Kevin McCleary came in low on that one.
Of course. I should have known. They surround him and stop him after about a 1-yard gain to the 39-yard line. 2nd and 9. Now coming up for Argetna. They're in their own territory.
And now a new guy gets in. Jason Bundy has come in the defensive backfield for the Maroons.
Not sure why that is. Check the sideline. Randy Rich is out, and he's being talked to by one of the trainers behind the Maroon guy standing along the sideline. Maybe Mike Craig can take a check on that. Back to pass. Pop over the middle. Almost intercepted by Nate Sams. He had it in his hands and couldn't hang on. The intended receiver was Carlson. And Nate Sams at the 40-yard line of Clinton was right in front of him, had a chance to pick that one off, and somehow it bounded off his pads, his hands or something as he was running away from us and drops incomplete.
Yeah, it was a poorly underthrown ball by Shepard as Nate was almost 2 yards behind the wide receiver, and he threw it right to Nate, and ball just bounded off of Nate's pads to the ground.
Randy Rich is back in the ball game, so just a brief check with the trainer. Probably held up the finger, said, how many am I holding up? Okay, you're fine, get back in there. 3rd down and 9. Shepard dropping back, rolling out left, still running, looking downfield, fires it deep downfield for Sanchez. He's got the catch and then drops it at the 30-yard line. He had it momentarily, but he wasn't able to hang on to it, and it goes incomplete. The Maroons were near there, but if he'd been able to cradle that one all the way in, they would have had another big first down in the Maroon territory.
Yeah, they had the tight end running the fly pattern down the sidelines, and it looked like Sanchez had caught the ball, and I think Bobby Igins came in and kind of knocked it away from him at the final second to make it go to the ground.
Could be. It was hard to tell on the far side of the field, down the far sideline, left-hand side of the field for Argetna. Schumacher, the lone man back on 4th down and 9, a current punt situation for Argetna. He's standing at his own 31 now, and Micah Shepard will punt the football. Not a real long kick, kind of wobbly. Schumacher will field it on one bounce at the 35, 40-yard line. Gets a little bit of a block from Randy Rich. He's across midfield and thrown down at the 44 of Argetna. Turned out to be the right decision. You don't want to see him take a chance and fumble the football, but he picked it up on one bounce cleanly and made a good 20, 25-yard return out of that to, they're going to give him the 44-yard line of Argetna. The Maroons again with good field position.
And did he put a fake on Jason Scott, the defensive man, down? That was kind of like a play Corey Parker made last year against the Maroons where it bounced off the turf. He'd wait for the bounce and then run it.
Yeah, that's true. Schumacher wide left, Igens wide right. Nearing the midway point of the third quarter. Clinton leading. Sam's over the middle for Igens. Line drive pass off his hands, incomplete. Nate's timing's just a little bit off here. He is really firing that ball with a lot of mustard on it, and it's tough for those receivers like Igens to make a catch on a ball like that over the middle.
Yeah, it was a crossing pattern. He just let him a little bit too much, and Bobby couldn't get there. As you really have to zip those balls in there because the coverage is converging in on the play, but he probably should. He could have just put that one in there. You're right. The timing seemed to be
just a little less, just a little more touch maybe. That's easy for me to say up here. Option right, pitch to Rich. Trying to get around the corner. He's going to get a couple of yards before he goes out of bounds. And he's going to bench. And the Maroons are going to have a third down and still probably at least 8, maybe 7 to go for a first down. We'll see how much forward progress they give him as they bring it back out to the hash marks toward the center of the field. They're going to give him good forward progress to about the 40-yard line. 3rd and 7 coming up for the Maroons. 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter of play, and Clinton is still leading 19-7. Schumacher, Igens wide to the left. Wilson and Rich in the backfield. Sams rolling out left, running away from some pressure. Has time. Now looks downfield, lost it. Got Igens wide open, 25-yard line, out of bounds at the 22. Those secondary guys had to go, well, is Sam's going to run? And they started inching up there thinking that maybe Sam's is going to run with the football, and that sprung Igens open in between the secondary and the linebackers, and he just dumped it over the linebackers in front of the secondary guys for the easy catch and the first down to the 23-yard line of Argetna.
And that was one of the favorite plays to go to Ryan Schumacher last year. As Nate rolled all the way to the opposite side of the field and found his wide receiver. That time it was Bobby Igens.
1st and 10, Clinton. Wilson, power run up the middle, gets 2 or 3 or 4. We'll see how much forward progress they gave him. Good push by the middle of the Maroons line, and they'll give Wilson inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line, a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Maroons. Clinton's had the ball in their hands a lot during this third period of play, but they don't have any points to show for it so far. But they're threatening at the 19 of Argetna. On 2nd and 6, split backfield this time. Handoff will go to Rich after a fake to Wilson. He's trying to get around the corner, almost caught from behind, but runs away from him and goes down about the 11-yard line when he's finally run out of bounds. A guy that had a shot at him was their quarterback on offense, Micah Shepard, and Randy showed good acceleration running away from him and preventing it from being no gain on the play.
Yeah, he really got to the outside quickly, and one of the keys to that play, it was a good fake by Nate Sams to Josh Wilson for an inside draw, and then he pitched it out to Randy Rich.
And it is a first down for the Maroons near the 12-yard line. 1st and 10 for Clinton. Let's not put the ball on the ground again here. They'll try the middle. Wilson, power run. Flag on the play. Thrown in the vicinity of where the tackle was made. We'll wait and see on this. It was a gain of about maybe 4 yards on the play to around the 8, but it is a holding call against the Maroons. Clinton, which has done a pretty good job staying away from penalties early in this season, as we're only in game number 3, have hurt themselves a little bit with a couple hold calls in this ball game.
Yeah, there's a trap play up the middle, and that time somebody got a little bit too much of the piece of jersey.
I think it's, again, important to point out, and Mike Craig's down there sideline where he's been able to watch it a lot closer. I think it's important to point out, Mike, that this offensive line is doing a pretty good job getting a push and moving around Argetna, just as they did last week against Moments. It's really good to see this young, inexperienced offensive line look like an experienced line out there.
Yeah, we're getting off the ball good, getting a little push. I believe that hold there was on the center, I believe. You know, they're pretty good size up front. They probably got us by 20 pounds, so we're having a little trouble with them. It's not quite as easy as it looks.
3 wide to the right-hand side after the 10-yard penalty. Sam's rolling out left. He's under pressure, being chased. He is going to run with the football this time. He's to the 15 and spins back down to the 13-yard line. The ball was on the ground as it squirted loose, and they have ruled it dead. Had people worried for a moment, but they got forward progress to about the 13-yard line, it looked like. And go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I was just going to say, Wes Graves is going to make sure it kept the Maroons' hands just in case.
Wes had recovered the ball if it had been ruled a fumble, but the ground, as you know, cannot force a fumble, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they teach you that in about 2nd grade?
No, I was just going to point out the hustle play by Wes.
No, I know. I wasn't scolding you. I was just talking in general, okay? Don't be so sensitive. 2nd and 11 from the 13 now, so they got almost all the penalty yardage back. Wilson up the middle, has Sanchez hanging on his back, and look how strong Josh Wilson is. Chugging an extra 3 yards or so with the big 225-pound guy on his back, and got down inside the 5-yard line, and the Maroons will have a third down and just a couple yards to go for a first down. They can get a first down around the 2-yard line. That's a great run by Wilson with the big man hanging on his back there. They get the additional yardage at the end. Wideouts to the right-hand side, Schumacher and Igems from the I formation. On 3rd and 2 for Clinton from the 5. Sams will keep it. Option right. Pitches the Rich. He tries to cut it upside, and looks like he'll be very close to a first down, but it's hard to say. Argetna was wanting to fumble on that play at the tail end when Rich was going down and hitting the ground. The ball squirted loose, but the officials ruled him down. Now, where's the spot? That's the big question. Can you tell down there, Mike Craig? You're kind of a long way away from it. It's on the far side of the field from you. Do we got a good spot? Do we have a first down? Can you tell?
Didn't get it.
How short are we?
About 2 foot.
2/3 of a yard. Away from a first down. Maroons, of course, will go for it here. They're on the 3-yard line. 4th down and less than a yard for Clinton. Nate Sams leads him up to the line of scrimmage. He'll quarterback keep it. Tries the right-hand side. He's got, it would appear, more than enough. Did he get enough push down there, Mike?
Yeah, he should have got it.
Okay.
We got a good mark. He got it.
Well, we'll see where they mark it. Mike Craig on the sideline watching it for us. He's got a lot better angle than we do. And it is enough for a first down. And where are we at now? About the 1-yard line, Mike?
Yeah, right on the 1.
First and goal from the 1-yard line. Holy cow, where'd we get that hum? I got rid of it, though, I think. First and goal from the 1-yard line. 3 minutes and 22 seconds to go. In the third quarter play, Clinton trying to up their lead. Sams has the football, hands it off, right-hand side. Boy, good defense, but Wilson still struggles forward. He got the touchdown. Hey, it looked like, Joe, they had him stopped, but he cut it to the left-hand side and pushed hard. He's got awfully strong legs, and he got it in the end zone anyway.
Yeah, Sanchez and number 59, Brian Stivers, hit him at the line. He just kept moving, kept the legs going, and he rammed in for the score.
That could be a big touchdown. It comes here with 3:13 to go in the third quarter of play. The second touchdown of the ball game for Josh Wilson. It's another 1-yard run for a touchdown for Josh. And you can tell this guy, he's just a junior, but he's the big money man for the Maroons here so far this year.
Yeah, he had a lot of carries in the first half against Moments. He was mainly on that first drive where they marched down the field, the main option, and he's done a very good job as the Maroon offense likes to feature the fullback.
Maroons going for 2 on the conversion. Looks like it might have been botched, but Sams will try to run it in, and did so. I don't know if that's the way the play was intended to go or not, but he stepped back, went to the right-hand side, and found an opening and jumped it into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So timeout on the field. The Maroons up by 3 scores now. With 3:13 to go in the third quarter of play, Clinton leads Argetna Oriana 27-7.
There's nothing like an exciting game.
All right, we've had a penalty, so the Maroons will try for 1 extra point. Placement's down. The kick by Josh Wilson is up and good. So instead of 27-7, it will be 26-7. For those of you watching on TV, we'll take a break and be back with more in a moment. All right, apparently we had, sorry, our mistake, a penalty on the play. Mike Craig, what was the penalty down there? Did you see it?
Well, there wasn't a penalty, Larry. They just said we didn't get in on the third down play.
What do you mean? That was an extra point attempt. So if we didn't get in,
No. We had to go ahead and punch it in from about the 1-foot line. That's what they said. I thought he was in.
I'm really confused. So who got credit? Who gets credit for the touchdown?
Sams did on the second one.
So Josh Wilson did not score.
No, he didn't.
We're throwing out footballs. We're writing things.
Well, he did get in, but he didn't.
I don't know. That's what Mike Craig's telling me on the sideline. We're really confused up here in the booth. I'm just going to turn off his microphone and ignore him right now. Well, we got 1 point on the conversion, and in the booth, we've got the score 26-7. So that's what I'm going with right now. Sorry, Mike. Now Mike's mad at me because I'm not believing him. Here's Tony Simonson's kick. And over and kick. Sanchez will take it. Here comes the horse from the 25-30. He bounces off a couple of tacklers, still on his feet, and finally goes down. Boy, he's a big boy. Just a freshman. 40-yard line is his return. 1st and 10 for Argetna. I can't believe that guy's only a freshman. Can you, Joe?
He's a bruiser for a freshman. Nice shot by Brian Preston, but he just bounced right off that play, and that shows you how big he is for his age.
26-7 is where we have the score. Clinton is definitely in the lead by 3 touchdowns. And Argetna with the ball here late in the third quarter of play. 2 minutes and 55 seconds to go. So Micah Shepard, I'm still thinking about what happened on that touchdown a second ago. What the heck happened? They'll run it. Albano still on his feet and gets it out to about the 49-yard line, about a 9-yard gain on the play. He's close to midfield. Let's see, Mike's saying that Wilson was ruled short. And then Sams punched it in. He's down there shaking his head. He's saying that Sam scored on a 1-yard touchdown run, and then we kicked the extra point. It would still be 26-7. Yeah, it looked like we kicked the extra point for 5 yards back. I'm going to watch the television replay, Mike. Mike, he's getting. Are you getting mad at me down there?
No, I'm not getting mad. I'm just telling you I know what happened and you don't.
I guess that's why I got you down there, so you can tell me these things.
That's right.
2nd and 1.
Well, we would have been lost without him there. So.
I'm still lost. All right, they try for the first down. They don't believe you up here in the booth. Sorry. You know, I can't convince the guys in the booth right now. Who carried the ball, Joe? Sorry, I'm still befuddled over this touchdown.
I think it was Moore again.
And it was enough for a first down just into Maroon territory, just across the midfield stripe. 26-7 is the score, though. That doesn't change things. It was still a touchdown and an extra point conversion. Is Cameron agreeing with you down there? If Cameron's in agreement, then I'll believe you.
Shake your head, Cameron. Yes.
No, you can't. You can't go shake your head, yes, Cameron. That's not the
Cameron,
way to go
tell him
about
that he didn't score on the first play, that Nate punched it in.
Nate Sam's credited with the touchdown there.
Thank you, Cameron. Thank you, Mike. Nate Sam's credited with the touchdown. Roll out right. A lot of pressure. He loads at the last second. Will it be in bounds? It's an interception. No! Out of bounds. The official rules. What a great try by Randy Rich. Randy Rich jumping in the air, and he tried to get 1 foot in bounds at the 33-yard line, but the official on the interception rules him out of bounds, and Argetna will retain possession, but they'll have another down coming up here and 10 yards to go for the first down.
Yeah, heavy pressure applied by Jim Savage and Adam Moore along the side, or Lucas Ward, excuse me, along the sidelines. I thought Randy got the back foot in, but I'm not the official.
That grass is pretty brown and sparse down there. I can't see where the white line is from up here, but it was close. 2nd down and 10. After Micah Shepard, under a lot of pressure, unloaded that one. This time he'll just try to hand it off, and they push it up the middle. And about 4 yards on the play for Moore, but the Maroons hanging on and finally are able to push him to the ground. And several in on the tackle that time for the Maroons. We saw Josh Wilson. Adam Moore was in the middle of that pile. And is that the running back still down on the ground, not able to get up yet? Andy Moore? Well, wait, there's a timeout on the field with an Argetna player down.
Yep, it looks to be Moore, I think.
3rd down and 6 will be the situation. Well, I got to do some paperwork here then. Josh Wilson did not get in.
That's Nate Sams on that one.
That's what he's saying. And Cameron's in agreement, so.
Well, you know, if Cameron agrees with him, it's going to be right.
I think so.
You can't believe Mike all the time, but if Cameron says so.
Poor Mike's taking such abuse. Can you get a camera on Mike down there? Hey, Mike. Mike, now, really. Mike's not even listening to us now. He refuses to listen to us. Mike, we believe you, really. Mike, give us a wave or something so, you know, people know. Mike, hello, Mike, thank you. There he is. Did you get that? He reluctantly waves at us. The sideline reporter that we don't believe. We have to believe his sidekick to the right there wearing the dark sweatshirt, Cameron Munn. On 3rd down and 6. Quick pop. Got a man open. Carlson makes a nice two-handed catch. They knock him back. Did he have enough forward progress for the first down? He was still struggling to try to get it, and the officials spotted him short of the first down, but it's going to be very close. 4th and inches, it would look like, or about a half yard maybe, something in that area, near the 40-yard line of Clinton.
Yeah, it was a nice pop by the secondary men there by Clinton as he caught the ball, and they stopped him right where he caught it so he couldn't get the forward progress. 4th
and short coming up now for Argetna. And we're down to about 30 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter of play. Clinton is leading 26-7 on somebody's touchdown a little bit ago for Clinton. Josh Wilson or Nate Sams? We think it was Nate. Yeah, Mike's still glaring at me. Quarterback keeper. And did he get it? Looks like they had plenty of push from the offensive line, and it is enough for a first down to the 39-yard line of Clinton, and Argetna will keep this drive alive. But down only to 20 seconds to go in the 3rd period of play. We'll be switching ends of the field here in just a second.
Yeah, nice push by the Argetna line as Shepard obviously had enough for the first down. And
I'm sorry, I was just going to say, you know, the Maroons did a good job of what we talked about at the beginning of the period. The offense controlled the ball a lot during that 3rd period of play and helped the defense out by keeping the ball out of the hands of Argetna a lot during this 3rd period. They're up to the line on 1st down and 10 at the 39 of Clinton. Micah Shepard with a split backfield this time. Short drop, quick pass. Nice catch by Carlson again. That pass looked like it was going to be upfield, another yard or two beyond where he needed to be, but he reached out and made a catch, took a good solid hit, but held on to the football. And they picked up about 5-6 yards on the play, and there's timeout on the field. We're at the end of 3 quarters of play. Argetna will have the ball in Maroon territory, but the Maroons lead 26-7. We're getting ready for the 4th and final period of this ball game. And we've had confirmation, Mike, Jeff Berger, who actually did not run any time off the clock during that play, so yeah, and Kevin Wall was, asleep. He had already called touchdown on the public address system. Everybody was asleep up here. Here's a run by Albano, and he got about 2 yards. Good pursuit by the Maroons, and not a real long gain on the play. It was Nate Sams who made the tackle. Anyway, my point is, Mike, we've got confirmation. You're absolutely right. Please forgive me. From the bottom of my heart, I apologize. You were right, and why don't you come up here and announce the rest of the game, and I'll leave.
Well, I don't think I want to do that, Larry. You can have one mistake a night, okay?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm over my limit tonight, but that was a nice offer. There was an official that did signal touchdown. What'd you say, Jeff? The other official overruled him and said that they weren't in on Wilson's run. In the meantime, the band played. The girls threw out the footballs. Kevin announced it was a touchdown. Jeff was flashing the lights on the scoreboard, and here's an attempt for the first down run. I know. It's getting silly again. Andy Moore, did he get the first down run, Joe?
Yeah, it looks like they're going to spot him just a yard more than he needed.
They're in Maroon territory to about the 27-yard line. It looks like a couple of the guys in the middle of the Argetna line are hurting a little bit. One of them gets up and is limping a little bit, and the other one's still on the ground, so the officials have to stop the clock. We're early in the fourth period of play.
Just wanted to give credit Wes Graves, Kevin McClure, and Josh Wilson on the stop.
So what we were doing is when we were calling what we thought was the conversion for 2 points was Nate Sam's touchdown run. I mean, we didn't miss watching it. We were calling it. We just thought it was the conversion run.
Yeah.
Boy, this is going to be real fun to watch on TV. Did my cameraman know that was going on? Did you realize? No, see, Phil was in the same boat the rest of us were up here. Maybe we should do the game from the sideline and put Mike up in the booth to do color for us up here.
We were wondering because we didn't see a flag anywhere, so we were wondering what happened.
And we wondered why we were kicking for 1 extra point after we just scored a 2-point conversion. So we assumed it was a penalty.
Be generous and give us like a chance for 3 points after.
I don't know. Why don't we just try to forget it and put it in the past?
That's probably best.
The fact is, it was a touchdown for Nate Sams. This all happened back with 3:13 to go in the third period of play, and here we are a minute into the fourth period of play. And then the kick by Josh Wilson was good, and that made our score go from 19-7 to the current 26-7 lead for the Maroons. And now the Maroons defense just has to do the job here during the fourth quarter play, continue the bending but not breaking type of play that they've had most of this ball game.
Yeah, Argetna's knocked on the door a few times, but they still haven't been able to get in the end zone since that first quarter as Argetna's Brian Stivers gets up and walks out on his own power. That's good to see.
But they'll have to make a substitution in that line, I guess, it would appear. They do have a 1st and 10. The line of scrimmage is closer to the 29, but now Argetna's going to have to use a timeout. The Maroons make a little change defensively out there. Did you notice, Mike? Did they make some kind of change that confused Micah and the group?
No, I don't know what happened, Larry. I was standing here and talking to Cameron.
We caught him on something. Okay, but we have a long way to make up for what we missed a little bit ago. Let's take time out. 10 minutes and 56 seconds to go in the fourth period of play. Clinton is leading 26-7. After the timeout, up to the line of scrimmage. Micah Shepard under center. He'll drop back, fakes a handoff under a lot of pressure. He's grabbed, he's struck down for a big loss on the play. Lucas Ward came through there, continued the pursuit, didn't let the young quarterback get out of his grasp, and dropped him all the way back at the 43-yard line. That's a big play for the Maroons and Lucas Ward.
Yeah, nice pursuit by Lucas. He just ran right up the middle, big opening. Nobody blocked him, it looked like, and caught big play sack on Shepard.
Do you remember what my prediction was before the game on the final score? I know there's still 10 minutes to go in the ball game. 28-6. Sorry, I'm off a couple points right now. All right. 2nd down and 23. Here I am bragging again about my fine prediction abilities. Sometimes they're fine. Micah Shepard back to pass. Wanting to throw out here. Oh, over the intended receiver's head by several yards. Todd Carlson. And did you see Randy Rich? He was coming in a hurry. He had touchdown on his mind. If that pass had been down in the vicinity of Carlson, Randy would have been there to pick it off, and he would have had open turf all the way to the end zone, 60 yards.
Yeah, and once again, Jim Savage, Adam Moore putting a little pressure on Shepard, making him throw the ball early and offline.
For those of you listening to this broadcast live on WHW-FM, you can watch it. I'm getting ahead of myself. The tape delay broadcast on Clinton Cable TV Channel 10, Tuesday night at 7, Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock, and Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock 3 opportunities next week to watch this game on replay on Clinton Cable TV Channel 10.
You'll be able to catch the disputed touchdown call and decide for yourself what happened.
What idiots we were announcing it. Oh, Micah Shepard under pressure again after he hesitates a long time, throws it up for grabs, and it's knocked to the turf, incomplete, and boy, the Maroons had an opportunity there. Boy, a lot of pressure again. C.O. Leggett was in there, and
Jimmy
Savage was in on top of the quarterback as he rolled out right, and finally he just threw it downfield about 20 yards and straight up in the air, and Schumacher was in the vicinity, and Wes Graves, I think, was there. I mean, we had guys all around that football, and they all fought over it, along with the Argenna players, and knocked it to the turf incomplete. 4th down and long for Argenna. They're near midfield, but they about got to go for it here, Joe, early in the 4th period of play, trailing by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, they're in the situation where you have to, and as Shepard tried to throw that ball, Savage was hanging on him, and then Clyde popped him once he threw it, and that's why the ball went up in the air.
Micah Shepard, who's starting to see little stars probably from the pressure he's been throwing under lately. Has the football. Short drop, pump fakes. Now he'll throw deeper, and he overshot his man at about the 15-yard line. Had to hurry it, and Todd Carlson didn't have a chance to catch that when Randy Rich was there in the man-for-man coverage, and had him covered well, and the pass wasn't anywhere near completion.
Yeah, he overthrew him, and I don't know why he was trying for Carlson there, as Randy had good coverage on him, but he was the main option, so he's the guy they wanted to go to. He's their big play wide receiver.
Maroons will take over here in the 4th period of play, leading 26-7 with 9 minutes and 46 seconds to go on the clock for the ball game. And I imagine this will be one of these attempts to just kind of grind it out, run some clock, and move it down the field. Get some insurance points, too. Uh-oh, they put it on the ground. I think that was Josh Wilson. It squirted out of his hands when he took the hit. And Argenna has recovered the ball at the 46-yard line. Straight power run up the middle, and Josh Wilson had it squirt out of his arms. He took a pretty solid hit, and it carried into the secondary of Argenna, and they were able to recover the football.
And the man who was down the last series, Stivers, came up with a recovery.
So he came back into the ball game. He's gutting it out, and he got back in the ball game and comes up with the football. So Argenna's not dead yet by any means. They trail by 3 touchdowns, but if they score quickly, they're right back in the ball game and still have a shot at it. They'll operate from the 46 of Clinton, and they will try the run in the middle. And boy, the whole middle of the Maroons defense is there. Josh Wilson, Kevin McCleary on the bottom of the pile. Again, for the Maroons is Adam Moore. And several others were helping out on the play. And a 1-yard gain for Andy Moore of Argenna. 2nd and a long 9 coming up. I also saw Lucas Ward in there in that vicinity also. There was just a bunch of them.
Yeah, they've been standing up more when he tries to go up the middle nicely. The guy that has got the yards up the middle looks to be Albano more than the fullback Moore.
But he hasn't done much here in the second half. Yeah. Just a couple of runs for some yardage. They'll try it out of the split backfield this time on 2nd down and 9 from the 45 of Clinton. Short drop, and they'll try the pass. Completion made. Carlson breaks 1 tackle, but then is grabbed by another man. He got away from Rich, but then Nate Sams put him down. Near what, about the 40-yard line. We'll see how much forward progress they give him, but it'll be a 3rd down and still about 4 to go for a 1st down. Maybe closer to 3 when they spot it closer to the 39. 3rd and a long 3 coming up for the Bombers. They're just inside the 40-yard line of Clinton, and we're now down to about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the ball game.
Yeah, but one reason to explain why he hasn't got that many yards is because they've had to go to more pass-type offense now, being down as many points as they are.
They can throw the football some, though. Micah Shepard, when he has time, is able to find his receivers. A little trouble with that snap from center, but he gets it off. Albano stumbling, regains his feet, gets the 1st down, and still on his feet, goes inside the 35 and down to about the 32-yard line. He was stumbling forward, and but was able to keep his balance enough to get the 1st down yardage, and then was able to get a few extra yards out of it after he was hit, all the way to the 33, 1st and 10, Argenna.
Yeah, the turf kind of be slippery for everybody, as the Maroons had a few defensive linemen slip, and offensive linemen for Argenna slipped, and the Albano slipped a little bit, too.
Got to give Argenna credit. They're hanging in here. Have not folded their tents after the Maroons scored late in the 3rd period of play and up their lead 26-7. That's the Clinton lead right now. Back to pass, Micah Shepard. Straight back. Plants his foot, fires it over the middle, and it drops incomplete. It's short of the intended receiver. The closest man to it was Bob Igems. The intended receiver on the play was Jason Patterson, the 5'11", 150-pound senior split end for Argenna.
He was thrown into coverage once again. Patterson well covered, and he didn't put enough air under that ball. He threw it more like a bullet and fell well short of the target.
So the ball spotted back near the 33, 34-yard line, we'll call it, of Clinton. 2nd down and 10. What a nice night for football. We haven't had the sprinkles that we had at times during the day, at least not that I've noticed. Although that football field probably got a little bit of moisture on it, and it's been a little slick, as you said, from time to time. But temperature-wise, a beautiful night for a football game. Coats in the jackets and sweaters and sweatshirts. Back to pass, Shepard. Under some pressure, fires it out here in the left flat. Completion made. Nice cradle catch by Todd Carlson. He's caught a bunch of passes in this ball game. He's done a real nice job catching the football for Argetna. He falls down with the football at the 23-yard line. And is that enough for a first down? They'll look it over down there. They got to look all the way across the football field to the far side, and I think they're about a yard short, it appears, as they'll move it out to the hash mark in a second.
And Carlson's made all the catches this half. Sanchez is the only other player with a reception for Argetna. And once again, Lucas Ward put a nice pop on Shepard as he released the ball.
Officials are going to measure this one.
Yeah, it's less than a yard then, obviously, if they're going to take a measurement here. They'll bring the chains all the way across the football field. Chuck Nagel's talking to the official. He's still having kind of an animated talk with the official here. He's unhappy about something. Mike, can you tell us what that was about by any chance?
Well, I believe they're just trying to figure out if it's a first down. Chuck's arguing with them that they stopped the clock to decide if it was a first down before they decided that it wasn't a first down and they needed to measure.
He just wants that clock running, doesn't he?
Yep, I believe he does.
Okay, thanks for the update. It was real close to where Mike was standing down there. And what the measurement tells, they must be short. Short by just...
by half a foot.
Okay. Third down and not a whole lot for Argetna to get a first down. And clock temporarily stopped here. 7:25 to go in the ball game. Clinton leading 26-7. Maroons led 19-7 at halftime. They've scored once here in the second half, obviously. And we finally came to the conclusion it was Nate Sams who scored the touchdown, although the guys on the sideline knew that long before we did. Here's Micah Shepard. Third down and inches. Will the quarterback keep? No, he's going to hand it off, and Albano's got the first down, and then grabbed from behind and swung back by Josh Wilson. Boy, Josh looks strong out there the way he plays the game. His legs look so strong when he's running with the football, and he just grabbed him around the waist and threw him back like he was a little rag doll, but it is a first down for Argetna.
Yeah, he plays both ways, and he hardly ever looks tired at that linebacker's position. He sees a lot of action both ways, and you figure a guy'd get tired by now, but he plays strong the whole game.
Brian Knutson signaling to start the clock, but I don't think he's got the striped shirt on. It allows for the operator to do that. From the 19-yard line, 1st and 10 for Argetna. And back to pass. Pop over the middle. Oh, nice completion made, and still on his feet is guess who? Carlson. And Carlson's got it down to close to the 10-yard line. Boy, that was a nice catch on a bullet over the middle thrown by Micah Shepard. And then he had somebody around the ankles about the time he caught the football, but is able to slip away from that tackle. And they're going to spot him back closer to the 11-yard line or so. So they'll have second down and a long yard to go for a first down there.
And it was nice communication between the receiver, Carlson, and the quarterback, Shepard, as Shepard made a pump fake to Carlson, and he looked immediately at the quarterback, and he fired the bullet in there.
Thing Clinton's doing, they're making it take some time for Argetna to move it in for the score. They're moving the ball, but they're having to struggle at it. Fullback will get the call, and guess what? Moore's not going to get any yardage again. And again, there's a host of tacklers there for the Maroons. Lucas Ward was at the bottom of the pile, and Clyde Leggett was there. But now there's a flag thrown. What's this about? The Maroons are, of course, jumping up and down celebrating, but were there some Argetna players upset, too? What's the call going to be here? Well, after the play, and Clinton's clapping, so it must be Argetna being upset. Unsportsmanlike conduct, which way did they point here? He didn't point. He just gave us unsportsmanlike conduct, but Argetna's backing up. 5 minutes, 54 seconds to go. Hey, we got that one right.
And that just hurts the Bombers because now it makes third down much longer, plus they lose time off the clock.
Not sure what happened out there, and I think the Argetna coach, Ben Davis, is about 10, 15 yards out on the field wanting clarification on what that was about. He's saying, hey, you pointed in the direction of Clinton when you made that call. It didn't look like he pointed any direction. He made a signal unsportsmanlike conduct, but he didn't really point in the definite direction of either team. Even if he did, I think he's entitled to making a correction if he pointed the wrong direction.
Well, I think when he made the signal, his hand came out toward the Clinton side, but that's just the signal on the unsportsmanlike penalty. It wasn't saying that it was against Clinton.
It was a little confusing. But then again, I've been confused by things a lot simpler than that tonight. 29-yard line. Why are you guys laughing at me? You were in on it, too. From the 29-yard line, it's third down and 20. I mean, the whole booth was on another planet. Yeah, well, yeah, we were. Yes, we were, Jeff. Long delay before we get this play off. Everybody on the Clinton side wants that clock running. What's the scoreboard operator doing? Oh, he's waiting for the signal. Okay. I know. Here's the signal. Go ahead and get that clock running, Jeff. 3rd down and 20. Micah Shepard back to pass. Long pass for Carlson. Nice defensive play. Randy Rich breaks it up. Use that right arm to come over the top and get a hand on the pass and slap on the arms and make sure that Carlson couldn't catch that one because he's made some dandy catches tonight for Argetna.
Yeah, it was a post pattern. They're going for the first down on that one. Randy broke it up at the last second. He didn't get in too early, and it was a nice defensive play. And big play now for the Bombers. They have to convert this to keep their drive alive.
Well, this play might not determine the ball game. The outcome might be already determined since we're up by 3 touchdowns, but this certainly would put the nails in the coffin if the Maroons can stop him here. On 4th down at about 20, Argetna from the Maroon 29-yard line. Big rush and a sack. Guess who that is? Josh Wilson on the blitz from his linebacker spot. Nobody touched him, and he was on top of Micah Shepard before he had a chance to even look upfield. Drops him all the way back at the 39-yard line, and the Maroons will take over on downs.
Untouched bull rush by Josh Wilson as he just plowed into Shepard. I don't even know if Shepard knew what hit him there on that play.
Maroons will take over with the football here and try to run out this clock, which is down to 5.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Little ball control offense now maybe by the Maroons. They'll try. On the ground, Josh Wilson. There's a flag on the play, flying high. Wilson got about 4. Flag thrown in the vicinity of the line of scrimmage.
I think it's a hold.
It's probably something against the Maroons since the flag was dropped in that vicinity. We'll wait and see. See if the official, it's a hold. You're right, Joe. And he pointed toward the Maroons. A lot of penalties in this ball game compared to the first 2.
Yeah, a lot more for Clinton. They have 7, and I think I think they had 1 against Central Catholic, and I believe 4 or 5 against Moments.
Chuck Nagel out in the field talking to one of the officials a little bit. And I think the officials had about enough of Chuck. I don't know. Mike, could you tell what that conversation was about?
Well, they keep calling a hold on Lucas Ward. They got him again. Chuck wasn't real happy with it this time.
Just want an explanation of what he's doing wrong?
Yeah, maybe a little too much of an explanation.
Well, apparently, at least in the official's mind. 10-yard penalty. 1st and 20. Nate Sands wants to throw. Screen pass. Wilson has it. Bounces off a tackler. Bounces off another one. Cuts it upfield and then goes down hard. But, man, a couple of guys took a shot at him. One was Corey Albano. And one of the bigger guys, I think, had a hit at it. Was it Greg Simpson or somebody along those lines? Or Gary Rolifson? Gary Rolifson, I think, was the guy that might have hit him first. And he glanced off both those and got some positive yardage out of it. About 8 yards. 2nd down and 12 coming up for the Maroons. That's a dandy run by Wilson after the catch.
Yeah, and finally Sal Murray was the first linebacker not to whiff on the play.
Well, they didn't really whiff. They just bounced off of him because he runs hard. Sam's throwing deep. Schumacher got the catch. He's out of bounds inside the 40. What in the world am I talking about? Ball control offense running out the clock. I don't know what in the world I'm talking about. The Maroons throw for the first down to the 38-yard line. Nicely thrown ball that time. I was picking on Nate a little bit earlier, but boy, that ball was right on the money to Schumacher, wasn't it, Joe?
Yeah, it was timed well, and Schumacher just ran underneath it. Beautiful play for the first down to keep the drive alive.
Still 4.5 minutes to play in the ball game, but the Maroons trying to put it away, leading 26-7. Little blitz by Argetna. Wilson gets the call, runs hard, struck down around the ankles, but he got probably 4 or 5 yards to the 34-yard line, and that'll be almost 5 yards on the play. That'll keep the clock running. 2nd down and a long 5 coming up for Clinton. They're into Argetna territory and probably won't do anything too, why am I saying this? Probably won't do anything too crazy with the football, but I could be wrong. Not that it would be crazy, but they might go ahead and put it in the air since they did just a second ago.
Yeah, Argetna blitzed Rolifson up the middle on that play, and sometimes those backfire. If you go through the wrong hole, the running back finds the other one and gets the yardage. That's what happened.
Hygens wide to the right-hand side. I believe that's Schumacher wide to the left-hand side. Sam's wanting an option with the ball. Good penetration by the defense that time, and Nate got back to the line of scrimmage before he was surrounded and put down by a lot of big white shirts there.
Yeah, they sent Sal Murray on a run blitz that time, and he came down with a tackle, him and Scott Bierma, and Nate didn't get too much on that one, but when you're playing 8 guys on the line to try to stop them, it's kind of hard to get a big run.
You know, what scares me is what is this Sanchez kid going to look like when he's a senior?
Probably a Dave Limmel type.
Holy cow. He he might make Dave look a little bit of a dwarf. Well, that's hard to do, but here's Rich trying to get around the corner, and there's a flag on the play after Rich was shoved way out of bounds. Is this going to be a penalty on the block, or did they give him a shove after he was out of bounds with the football at around the 34-yard line? It was right in the vicinity of the Clinton bench. We couldn't see it very well. Brian Knutson and Chuck Nagel are standing there very calmly. And here's the call by the official. It's a hold against Clinton. There goes the calmness by the coaches. They're talking to the official again, but it's a brief talk this time. So this one will come back from the point of the infraction, 10 yards. And the Maroons will have a... Is that a third down play? I think that was a third down play. I'm losing track late in the ball game. Third and, what, about 15?
Yeah.
Third and about 15 to go for a first down. Back to the 43-yard line. The important thing is the Maroons are in the lead on the scoreboard, 26-7 over Argetna Oriana, and there's only 3:10 to go in this ball game. So they've got this one pretty well in hand, but they'd like to keep the ball in their hands, literally, to run out the clock if they can.
Well, Larry, I don't think it's the 40-point 9-9.
Maybe not. Rich, good penetration by Argetna, and they're going to drop him for a loss as Rich gets the pitch. He dodged one man, but then is dropped for about another 5-yard loss on the play.
Carlson had nice penetration on that play, came up from his defensive backer spot and run blitzed, and that time got Rich trying to run it out to the left side.
Next week's a big ball game. We need a big crowd out here next Friday night. Maroons take on Decatur St. Teresa, number 2 in the state in Class 2A. Maroons in punt formation here. They got 3 wideouts on the right-hand side. They're running really out of shotgun formation, but I expect him to boot. Quick punt, and it's a good one. There was nobody deep out of that formation. Maroons will let it roll, and it's taken a roll for Clinton down to the 10-yard line. So Nate Sams will get credit for, what, about a 32-yard punt on that, or they're about, no, 37-yard punt. To the 10-yard line, Argetna will have only 2 minutes and 23 seconds as they take over the football here at their own 10-yard line or so. So St. Teresa's next Friday night, Joe, 7 o'clock kickoff time. The Bulldogs are awfully tough. They've got that class that, 3 years ago or 4 years ago was the freshman group that was very highly touted. Now they're all grown up and big seniors, and they've done well the last couple of years. And they're ready to put an exclamation point, on their careers at St. Teresa, and they're off to a good start.
Yeah, the Carlinville one was a big win because Carlinville is highly rated in Class 3A, and they're only a 2A school, so I'm sure they'll be ready to play next weekend.
Argetna back to pass. Micah Shepard looking for a receiver. Lost it high in the air, and it's off the hands of one guy and goes out of bounds, incomplete.
Albano.
Yeah, coming up the sideline. There's 2 guys in the vicinity, and they got a little crossed up there trying to go for that ball about the 35-yard line. The Maroons will definitely be the underdog in that ball game next week, but we're not going to count them out. It should be an interesting ball game between St. Teresa and Clinton next Friday night. And don't forget, tomorrow morning at 9:30 on WHOW Radio, right here on the radio, live, we'll have Coach's Corner with Coach Chuck Nagel. We'll talk over this ball game and hear his comments on how they play tonight against Argetna. He should be a happy coach, and then preview next week's ball game against St. Teresa. Tomorrow morning at 9:30, Coach's Corner on WHOW AM and FM radio. On the draw play, Micah Shepard hands it off, and Albano looking for some running room. Got to the 13-yard line before Josh Wilson tripped him up. Got to the 14-yard line, gain of 4. Third down and 6, and the clock is down to 1:44, and some of the crowd, slowly, reluctantly, a few people, starting to head for the exits, but they're happy people. Doug Neuschwander's leaving early. No, that's not right. He should stay to the bitter end. I'm going to talk to him about that.
But I think,
why don't you talk to him about that?
I think one thing the coach has to be happy about is the defense. I mean, Argetna's had plenty of situations where they could have punched it in, but just defense had nice stops.
3rd and 7 for Argetna. Shepard under some pressure, fires it out there in the flat. Good catch. Nice two-handed catch. Slipping and going down the 29-yard line, and that's the first catch of the ball game for Jason Scott, 5'11", 150-pound split end, a junior. He had to reach back for that ball and did a nice job grabbing that ball out of midair with his hands. He didn't cradle it or anything like that. Just grabbed it out of midair with the hands, fell down with the ball at the 29-yard line, first down.
And that was that other wide receiver in that play where it went off Albano's hands out of bounds.
Right. Scott's been in there some, but I think that's the first time he's had a real good chance at making a catch. Shepard back to pass again. Throwing out here in the right flat. Nate Sams high in the air, makes the interception to the 42-yard line. Dodges a man, looking for some blocks. Cuts it upfield, 35-yard line, far sideline 30. He might spring it. He's to the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, and Nate Sams on a nifty run after an interception around the 40-yard line. We're going to give him credit from the 42. Makes a 42-yard interception return for a touchdown that has put the icing on the cake in this ball game here tonight.
And what really set that off is Randy Rich made a monster block on the play as Nate tried to cut it up the sideline. Randy got the worst end of it as he was knocked down, but I think it was either on Sanchez or Rolfson, but he set a monster block on the guy, took him out of the play, and that sprung.
Took on one of those big guys, though.
Yeah.
But he was happy to do so when he saw the final result, I'm sure. Samms with the interception and the return of 42 yards. He backtracked after he made the catch a couple of yards to the 42. But returns it. Maybe it should only be a 40-yard. Whatever. It's a touchdown. Kick for the extra point is good. Notice how I'm doubting myself so much now. Kick is good by Josh Wilson. So on the scoreboard, with only 48 seconds remaining, we'll take timeout, and the Maroons lead. Is the score correct? Yes, it is. 33-7. Little insult to injury for Argetna Oriana. Nate Samms picking off Micah Shepard. The pass was underthrown, and Nate showed his, he's got good height. He's got a long reach, and he jumped a little bit up high in the air to get that ball and made a nice two-handed catch above his head in front of the intended receiver. And then he kind of backtracked, and I thought maybe he made a mistake, but he made a couple nifty moves and dodged a couple of guys, and then, as you said, got the blocks, especially that key block from Randy Rich, and he was off to the races. The last 25, 30 yards were pretty easy as he ran it in down the far sideline to the left sideline for the score. So another kickoff here. Tony Simonton approaches and boots. Low line drive kick. That will be fumbled. It's on the ground, and they'll have to dive on top of it, the 29-yard line. The Maroons are there to cover it also. And Argetna will have it about the 29-yard line as they get off the bottom of the pile. Chris Hill was there to recover the football at the 29 for Argetna, and they have only 43 seconds left to try to do something with this football. Nate Samms messed up my prediction a little bit. I was closer before his touchdown, but that's all right. I won't hold it against him. I said 28-6. Yeah. It's 33-7.
We'll end up both being wrong, though, Larry, because it won't bring the 40 points.
Pretty darn close. The Gold Pants didn't do too bad tonight. And, the defense, like you said earlier, they did some bending, but they didn't break tonight. Aided by turnovers a little bit, and especially in the first half. Second half, they've done a good job. Here's another fumbled snap from center, and the quarterback they've changed is Jensen Ware. And Jensen, when he picked up the loose ball, had his knee on the turf, so it's down immediately. No gain. So Argetna coach Ben Davis sees the writing on the wall and says, let's get some subs in there for the final few seconds of this ball game. And they might have a chance to snap the football one more time if they get up to the line of scrimmage in time. 20 seconds left to go. Maroons will be 2-1 overall. They've won 2 straight now with the wins over Moments and Argetna. And they will be 1-0 in conference play going into the big ball game, the big test next week against St. Teresa. Argentna's going to let the clock run out. The crowd here is going to count down the final few seconds. And this one's in the books. Maroons win this one by a final score of 33-7 over Argetna Oriana. We'll come back and recap it for you in just a moment.
I'm getting classical music.
He can't hear us. He's got the wrong station now or something. So Mike Craig will try to correct that situation. Quick recap of the scoring. In the first quarter play, the Maroons got on the scoreboard early. A 65-yard touchdown pass, Samms to Schumacher. The kick was good, 7-0 in favor of Clinton. Maroons scored again at 5:50 to go in the first period of play. A 36-yard run by Randy Rich, a nifty one. Kick was no good, 13-0 in favor of the Maroons. Then Corey Albano scored for Argetna with 2:47 to go in the first quarter play. Kick was good, 13-7, 6-point lead for Clinton. But then the Maroons got a 1-yard touchdown run from Josh Wilson in the second quarter of play at 9:06 to go in the second quarter of play. Maroons tried the 2-pointer but did not get it, 19-7 at that point. That was our halftime score. Chuck, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, Larry.
Okay.
I'm getting some classical music in the background, but it's all right. Sounds pretty good.
Well, I heard that. I heard you were listening to classical music. That's why I started to do a recap on the scoring. I only keep you for a minute because I know you want to talk to your team, but great win here tonight. This is the way you want to start off the OCAW Conference.
Yeah, thank you very much. We knew this was a pivotal game. This is a real tough team. As you guys can see, the score doesn't reflect that game is out here today. But we second half, they were just like with us all the way. And when in the locker room, we said we have to respond, and, the kids rose to the occasion.
Your defense did a little bending tonight, but they didn't break. They only gave up the 7 points in the final. Were you happy with the way your defense played?
Yeah, I really was. We had a few breakdowns. Like I say, they were running a little bit of counter stuff on us, and his game was to throw those 5-yard outs. And our DBs took that away, and then we straightened out the counter stuff at half, and real pleased with the way they played.
Offensively, you had a good combination of running and passing again tonight, it looked like.
Yeah, offensively, I mean, we told you, right, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was we talked, we're going to put lots of points on the board. There's no two ways about it. And with the type of athletes we got out here. So, yeah, we're real happy between last week and this week, sure.
Chuck, we'll let you go. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning on Coach's Corner. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Mark.
Great victory for the Clinton Maroons and head coach Chuck Nagel. They win it tonight 33-7 over Argetna.